right. You want to try out some, let me try out an intro here. Leave this part in. Don't talk till I call on you. All right, we're here. Episode 11 of the show. Erick and Brad Show at gmail.com. Good morning. We got you guys here. All you fucking lunch pail Joes. All you ham and eggers. All you strap hangers. It ain't easy. It's stressful. I get it. Don't worry, we're here. Got you. It ain't easy broadcasting around the world during a pandemic. Is it a pandemic or is it a damn panic? I don't know. It's a damn panic. What up? Episode 11. Broadcasting live from the 36th floor, New York City. All around the world. Here we go. New Carl Flystone album out. Go search for it on Spotify. New Carl Flystone album. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning. How's it going? How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
I like your intro.
We'll see how it goes. See how it works.
Boom. Is that just bam? Is that how we're gonna start the episode? Don't fucking do the other intro? Because that would be weird now.
Oh, I don't know. Episode 11, Erick and Brad Show at gmail.com.
Morning.
Morning. It's going to be a good day. It's hot. It's too hot. It's too hot to live on this planet anymore.
Is it hot out there?
It's going to be 95 today.
Is it hot out there for a pimp?
Oh, God. It's fucking ridiculous. I went to the movies yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. What'd you see?
The Goonies.
Oh, yeah. They're doing all reboots or whatever in the theaters. I heard that. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah, it was real ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
What do you mean?
It was fun. It was just crazy. It was just, it was just me and two other people. It was free. It's free movies, right?
Why are they doing free movies? Is that how it is everywhere?
They can't. Oh, no. I know in Sandpoint it's like $3 or something. But here it's free.
And they're playing reboot movies?
Yeah. I mean, they're playing the first Avengers.
Is everyone doing the same thing? Because I heard that on the radio, and they said that Jaws came in #1. So are all theaters...
Fuck, I wish we had Jaws here.
So that's what I mean. How does that come in that's just been picked by a lot of different theaters, and then they're saying that's the highest grossing one or whatever?
Yeah, maybe, because, they didn't even give me a ticket or anything. I just walked in, and they were like, which movie? I'm like, Goonies? They're like, upstairs. I was like, sweet, thank you.
What movies did they have?
They have, like, Jurassic Park, Wizard of Oz, Willy Wonka, then they have, like, the first Avengers, and some other stuff. And for me, it was, of course, between Goonies and Jurassic Park. So I might go back. I might go back for Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Did you watch? I watched that in theaters. That was so fun.
Really?
Like, that was, I think, 96. I think I watched that in theaters. Man, that would only put me at 7 years old. But I'm pretty sure
and
I watched that in theaters.
The previews were starting, and I'm like, is this going to be previews from, like, the 80s? Or is this going to be new movies? Of course, it was new movies, which the first preview was Mulan, and I'm like, why are they speaking English? And then as soon as the Goonies was starting out, then I got this fear that rushed over me. I was like, wait, what if this is really, really bad? What if this is, like, really bad? I haven't seen this movie in a while. So... then I just watched it, and I was like, okay, some of it's a little ridiculous and bad, but it was,
Goonies is great,
it was just a fun time.
Goonies
it was just a fun time. I just sat in the front row, and there was a couple people behind me.
Here in Oregon, it's like especially it's because they filmed it here in Oregon in Astoria, and it's like this national. It's like a state treasure. Yeah. That movie, like every I've heard it a million times. Did you know that was filmed here in Oregon?
Oh, God. No, they filmed a lot of movies in Astoria, but I know. I mean, I know there's like some museum there. That's just all these
Yeah, they
movies.
did.
That
Didn't
have
they
been
do
filmed there.
One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? I think was in
They
Astoria.
might have. I know they did. Kindergarten Cop was filmed there too. But it was fun, and I don't know if I should go back for Jurassic Park. I
Dude,
mean, it's
do
too
it,
fucking,
man.
Yeah,
Because
and it's in
the thing that's cool about that movie in theaters is like, and it was a big deal when it came out, was they
Oh,
put
yeah.
they put a lot of emphasis on the sound in that movie. You know what I mean? It was like in that time frame between 96 and 99, like you kind of went to like the Matrix, you know what I mean? Half of it was that sound, and if you're in a good theater with like really good subwoofers, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
when that dinosaur is chasing the and then they're all like
Yeah.
looking around, you know what I mean? The little glass is shaking and all that stuff. Like, dude, I had to have seen that in theaters because I feel like I remember that. And that when the subs hit on that, it's like, yeah, that's
Well, yeah,
the whole
I was
experience.
driving home from the Goonies, and I'm like, should I go see Jurassic Park another day? And I'm like, when's the next time I'm gonna get to see the Goonies and Jurassic Park in the theater? I'm like, never. The answer is never. You
Never.
never will.
Yeah,
Never. So I'm like, fuck, god damn it.
They
And
do
I'm
have-
like,
Here in there's a town south of where I'm at. They still have a drive-in theater, and they always do like classics. I think their
Yeah.
thing is like they'll do like 2 new movies and then 1 old movie. Like every year, it's that way. It's like they do a reboot movie. I haven't gone
Yeah,
to
that's
it.
awesome.
I haven't gone since I've been here, but I should go. I should go support it just to keep that alive. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
When's the
can't
last
believe
time
they're
you
just
went to
running
a
the
drive-in?
a drive-in?
Yeah.
Never.
You've never been to a drive-in?
No.
Oh, dude, it's fun, dude. Well, yeah, I mean, if you live in Idaho, there was nothing there, but drive-ins are
Right.
great, man. They're such a cool thing, and I think I've thought about it. Like recently, what sucks about not having drive-ins now is this is the day and age when it would actually be cooler to have a drive-in because everyone's got like electric cars. You know what I mean? And like, so like, if you were to drive in, your battery starts dying, you got to start your car. Well, drive-ins were really big in like the 70s. You know what I mean? So it's like, or the 80s or whatever. So everyone would be like, like start their fucking car, like waiting to watch it. And then also sound systems in cars are getting better. So like now would be the time to go do it. I would love to go to a drive-in in my truck, like with, I got a sound system in there and it's like, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Like it'd be a good
Yeah.
experience.
Plus, I'm sure there's a way to do it that's not like however they used to do it, where that you just should like pull up next to a little shitty speaker that's been broken. You could probably like tell people to like stream it on an app or something like that and play it through their car or some sort of system. Yeah.
Exactly. Do it straight digitally instead of over the airwaves.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember the last time I went with my real dad. So it's been a minute. And what you do is, from what I remember, you pull in and they got this little post sticking out of the ground, and there's like little wires, and you like hook it to your antenna, and it like boosts the signal.
Oh.
Like, it's kind of like doing it like, whatever. But I remember you'd turn to the station and it would be like in and out, and then you'd clip that wire on your antenna and it would fucking, it was like way clear.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I would go, but I'll probably just go back to Jurassic Park. I'm not going
Boom.
to Wizard of Oz or Willy Wonka.
Yeah, that
so-
sounds horrible. I don't think I've ever
But
made
then
it
I'm just
through
like-
either of those movies without just turning them off.
No, I've made it through them.
I haven't. Definitely. That's not my speed
But
at all.
it's just a lot of Spielberg all over the Goonies and Spielberg all over Jurassic Park, and he can kind of get annoying. But I got this. I don't know what's going on back here. It's just a disaster. I ordered.
I
more
don't
stuff
think it
last
looks
night.
bad. I think it looks good.
I ordered more stuff last night. I'll fucking make it better eventually.
I like it's a lot better than the. I'm gonna say I didn't like the tapestries
Just the
or
flat?
the bedding. Well, the bedding thing, the creases make it look crappy. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
the black. If that was solid, if you got more of those and went all
Yeah.
around, I think I would really enjoy it.
It'll be solid. I'm not doing math or measuring anything. It's just order it and see what happens.
Order as
So
you go.
I need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I dig it. I need to buy those, but fucking, how much was that? $30 or something like that?
Yeah, 25
Hell yeah.
for 12.
So I grew up this weekend. I became a man. I became, like a father, like a adult. It got real this weekend. Like, what's the most adult thing you can do? Buying a
I
Costco
have no
card,
idea.
obviously.
Oh. Obviously, damn it, that's what it was.
I'm fucking. It's been a minute since I've been to a Costco, and
Yeah.
I wanted a new chair. We've been having issues with my girlfriend works at home, and yesterday it became a real issue to where I wanted to game, and she had my gaming chair in her office. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck. So I had to go buy a chair. But Best Buy is a joke right now. You know what I mean? Fucking, you have to make an appointment. It takes hours and hours and hours to get it. So I was like, I Googled it, like, where are chairs at? And it said Costco. And there's a Costco, like, fucking 6 blocks from my house. So I'm just like, okay.
Ooh.
Okay, well, maybe this is the thing. And I was like, and why haven't I been shopping at Costco this whole time? Costco's the shit.
Right.
It's been years since I've been to Costco. And I walked through there, and I was like, all the nostalgia came back. Being a little kid walking through. I used to love that shit as a kid. You know what I mean? You go down all the aisles and they give you like food here and give you food here and food here, and you're just fucking, yeah. You have a Costco?
I used
you go
to enjoy
Costco?
the food. Used to enjoy the food as a kid too, but now I don't really want it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the samples. I don't know. Whenever I'm there, it's like I don't really know what to buy. But I would always only go with my mom when she would go, because it's like a Coeur d'Alene thing. So it's like I'm doing a Costco run. Do you need anything? Do you want to come with me? So I'd go and I'd buy like paper towels. But it's like I didn't really know. I'm not like buying food or anything like that. But I mean, it's a great place.
You
It's
got
a
to
great
get your
place to
meat
go.
there, man. Costco always has good meat.
Oh,
That's one of the better places to get meat. That's what I'm excited about. My girlfriend likes to shop at this, it's called Winco. You know what that is? Do you have those? You do have
no,
one?
but it's just like a grocery store.
Yeah, but
right?
it's like a cheap ass grocery store. It's like
Okay.
it's like and I hate everything there. She doesn't like. She'll
Right.
buy these products, and I have a real issue with them. Like, I'm just like, you don't see how crappy this product is. Like, I don't know. I've been a Safeway guy. I've been a Safeway guy forever. Always done Safeway. What's wrong with
Oh,
Safeway?
I hate it. Oh,
What?
it's terrible. I just
Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
don't like it.
Why?
I don't know.
What's your store?
It's fucking hard to. I mean, here I just shop at Walmart and Albertsons.
Albertsons is owned by Safeway. It's the same store.
Yeah, just like Yolks and Super One are the same store, but it's like I don't know. It's hard to describe what I like and dislike about a grocery store. Safeway, the floors always seemed weird, the shelves, just the coloring and everything. It's just a weird vibe. It's like not open enough. I don't know. It's hard to describe why I just don't like being in there.
Huh.
And with all those things put together, it always feels like I'm getting scammed on the prices or the products. For me, it's just like the presentation.
Huh.
And they always had, in fucking Sandpoint, they always had the giant Seattle Seahawks display everywhere, and then they took out self-checkout after they put it in, and I was really, really angry with them, and so I just didn't like going there. But I don't know. If I had a Costco like six blocks away from me and I made it like this is my spot now, I'm not going to go anywhere else. I'm just going to go here.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Oh.
You don't do
Okay.
that. Because how long has it been since you've been to Costco? I mean, I just figured this out yesterday.
Couple years.
Going is you don't fucking go there just to buy a chair. You know what I mean? You don't go there to buy like some toothpaste and some fucking shit because it's a goddamn madhouse there. It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
Right.
dude, I just went to go buy a chair, and I mean, I love the whole thing, but Jesus Christ, like checking out there was a fucking issue. There was some lines going on, and everyone's got carts fucking stacked to the brim with shit. I mean, they did a good job on checking out, but it still took me like 20 minutes. But I'm kind of hurt you don't like Safeway. It's like my store. I feel a connection to that store.
Okay.
Fucking and fuck
Hey.
Walmart. See, Walmart, I don't like shopping at Walmart. Not a Walmart fan. And we actually can't. It's weird here. There's like this weird thing in Portland. I don't know why they did this, but Portland, like, it's like how Sandpoint did that fast food ban. There's like a ban in Portland with Walmarts. Like they're not allowed to have Walmarts here. Like there is no Walmarts in Portland except neighborhood markets. So they have Walmart neighborhood market, but they're not allowed. They can't sell anything a grocery store wouldn't sell. So they're not allowed to have the clothing or the other Walmart
TVs.
stuff. They're only allowed to have like the food section, food and basic grocery store stuff. So there's those, but you have to go all the way out of town to get to the closest Walmart. There's nothing in Portland, Gresham, Troutdale, Beaverton, Tigard, no Walmarts. I thought it was weird. They like banned it here. I don't know
I
why.
like that though, because they're an evil. I mean, I think they're completely evil. It's just so familiar to me that it's like I just go with what I know. I just want to go where what I know with what I know, where I know where everything is. Yeah.
Boom. Well, this is really high quality podcast conversation we got going here.
Yeah, it is. So you know that my video that's let's see how many views it's at now.
We talking TikTok?
No, my YouTube video that's I think it's
yeah.
I think it broke 30,000.
Cigarettes?
Yeah. Why I love smoking cigarettes. It is it's at 30,034. So, yeah, it gained a couple thousand since the last time we talked about it. So what I did is I went in and I tagged our show at the end of this. So in the last 10 seconds, our channel pops up here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is it
In the last,
is it always going to be that episode?
No, this is just the playlist of full episodes.
Oh, so you added the playlist at the end? Sweet. Nice.
Yeah,
move.
so that's
good thinking,
that
buddy.
just pops up. Yeah, I know, right? Because fucking, for all I know, it's gonna, get another 30,000 since just in the last couple weeks it's gained a couple thousand. So I threw that on there. I thought it was a pretty good idea.
That is a very good idea. I fucking look at the big brains on Brad.
Because I don't give a shit about that video. I don't care about it.
Boom. And I'm a fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a slut. So I don't care how I get views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm down. Yeah. I'm down to whore myself out in any way possible. If I need to make an OnlyFans page, I'm down. I think I got pretty good looking feet. I might do a feet thing. I'm down with what.
You could probably make some money. I don't know.
I've thought about trying this out. I'm down. So I was really excited to rub something in your face this week, like really excited, and then it fell apart right when it didn't fall apart, but I wasn't able to get the team I wanted. But I don't even know if this is going to be a thing this year. Is NFL even going to happen this year?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to go to games this year?
Don't know about that. We went to a game last year. Me and a couple buddies. My buddy got this idea out of nowhere saying, I want to go to a different football stadium every year forever. So we're like, okay. And I'm like, if you go somewhere fun, I'll go with you. I'm not going to Jacksonville or Buffalo or
Why
Cleveland.
Not? That sounds great. That's actually a really cool. That'd be a cool yearly thing to go do. Following a team, or just doesn't matter what the teams are.
It doesn't matter what the team is. Just you.
Because you could do that if you could do that with the Eagles. That'd be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like every year, go see the Eagles in a different stadium. That'd be dope.
That would be amazing. Yeah, but I'm just like I'm not.
And
going
you
to
get to be
Buffalo.
the asshole. If you were an Eagles fan, you get to be there like, fuck you guys. You know what I mean? The only guy cheering for the Eagles. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a scary situation.
Situation.
But so I'm like, we got to go somewhere fun. Okay, so let's figure somewhere out. And we were like, I think that it was my idea. I just threw out the idea of New Orleans. I'm like, New Orleans, we get a good team, we get a good stadium, we get a good city. You know, let's pick a good game, a Monday night game that they're having, and let's go. So we did that. And then this year, we're like, okay, where are we going to go this year? And we're kind of like, we don't even know if people are going to be allowed to go. So we're just going to hold off on that basically until this season starts and we can try to make a decision. But the baseball is coming back and basketball is coming back at the end of July. So football will be able to come back.
Isn't the NBA saying they're doing empty stadium or empty arenas?
Yeah, and they're using one stadium. They're going to use one stadium for all games, so teams are just going to filter in and out of one spot,
What?
so no traveling. Yeah. In Florida.
What do you mean no traveling?
But-
I mean, all the teams are going to have to travel there
Yeah, they just travel there and stay there.
the entire year.
But well, no, it's just all they're going to do is wrap up the season that was put on hold. So they only have like another 20 games or some shit like that to just finish off the season to actually have a winner for the year. So there's only a couple teams left, you know, that made it to the playoffs basically. So they're just going to hold like a playoffs and a finals.
Huh. Interesting.
Just to finish
I
up
didn't
the
know
year.
that.
But baseball still hasn't started their season, so they're going to start their season in like the end of July, I believe.
They should have already been going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick question. Who did you see? You saw the Saints, obviously, in New Orleans.
And the Colts.
Saints
yeah.
and the Colts. Yeah, my girlfriend's a huge Saints fan. She'd be super jealous.
Hell yeah. It was incredible. We did a couple things wrong, you know, with the whole planning of the thing, but we went big for the first game, for the first of his thing and being like, I want to go to a different stadium every year, because his whole thing's just seeing like legendary stadiums, you know,
Yeah.
not about following your favorite team. None of us were Saints fans as our favorite team, but I'm just like, that seems like a good city, a good stadium, a good team, but we went way too big for the first year.
What do
Like,
you mean?
It cost us all like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We were there for like 4 days, and it was just like we went big. You know, it doesn't
That's
need to be
awesome.
like that.
That's really
Yeah,
cool, man.
It is awesome. I mean, it can just be a fly in, fly out. You know, one day to see the city, one day to see the game. It
I
doesn't
think
need to
you
be
probably
like
did
3
it legit. I mean, I bet that was super
Yeah.
fun. A good
It
little
was, yeah, and
vacation.
Yeah, it just doesn't need to be like 3 days to see the city. I mean, these guys are like married guys with tiny, tiny children, you know.
Yeah.
So it could just be like a.
I don't
2-3
believe
day
in
thing.
doing. I mean, I get what you're saying, but any kind of vacation
Yeah.
for me, if you're gonna go do anything, I do not want to be rushed. So it's like
Yeah.
if I do a vacation, I try to make it as long as absolutely possible. You know what I mean? Give myself time. Like anything I do, I try to give. I hate being rushed. Like if I go on vacation, I always come back a day early before I have to go to work, just to keep the fucking mellowness. You know, all
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I hate fucking driving. You know, I don't want to be coming in at 9 o'clock at night, then have to wake up at 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? And like that
Yeah.
sounds horrible.
No, I agree.
But okay, back to the NFL thing. I was so excited. I have 2 bosses that are kind of like fighting over me to go on their crew, and it's kind of becoming a deal to where I can decide which crew I want. But there's one guy on this job I'm on right now. We had an issue with a painter, like this painting company it's like a small painting company, and but the guy, you know, the guy that owns it makes a lot of money. But we did him a favor, like painting some stuff, and his crew didn't have to come out and paint, but he's still getting paid for it. You know what I mean? He's still going to make all the money on his bid, but we just are doing little things for him. So, you know, it's kind of like I rub your back, you rub my back type, you know, and that happens a lot in construction. You know what I mean? You just kind of work with your subs to get stuff done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I've known this painter for years. Like, he's been on other jobs of mine. And I'm like, that guy has season tickets to the Seahawks every year. And I was like, get some tickets out of this guy. And and like I just said that like willy-nilly. And like I was saying that to my boss, and then he comes down like an hour later, comes down to where I'm working. He's like, okay, what tickets do you want? And I'm like, what? Like, and he's like, pick what team? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. And I'm like, well, obviously I'm not going to pick one of his, I'm not going to pick the Patriots because that's obviously going to be, if he doesn't go to that game, he can sell that and make, more, right? Isn't that how that works? Like, I've seen that with basketball games. If a guy has season tickets, you don't ask to go see the LA Lakers because if he doesn't go to that game, he can sell those tickets for a lot of money. But if they're playing the Bucks or I don't know, some B-rated, B-side team, those tickets are going to be a quarter of the price as the I actually getting off on a sidetrack deal. This kid I knew was selling he had season tickets and he was like making money selling all of his tickets. You know what I mean? He was saying he told me that it's cheaper, that there's a whole thing going on here in Portland to where people will fly into Portland from what's the California team? Why am I going blank? That's really big. Not the Lakers, but Steph Curry, Golden State.
Golden State Warriors. Yeah. People
from Golden State will fly into Portland to watch the Warriors because it's cheaper to just buy the plane tickets and come to Portland and watch, and then buy an even, because that's even expensive for us. And then they'll buy the tickets, watch the game, and then fly back. And it's still cheaper than buying tickets for Golden State down in California.
Yeah, wow. That makes sense. That's crazy.
But anyways, so this painter guy, like, he comes down, he's like, oh, pick a game you want. And I'm like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, I'll just get you can have the tickets. I'm just like, what? Like, I've never been to an NFL game, but I have some buddies that are like, dude, it's way better than any other sporting event. Either like, even if you hate football.
No. Ugh, I don't think so.
What?
But okay. No, I don't think
You're just such a Debbie Downer about everything.
Like, I've never been to like a pro basketball game, but I almost feel like that would be better.
Huh.
I don't know.
I've been to everything else. I've been to hockey, I've been to basketball, I've been to baseball, and I don't care about any of them, but it is fun to go. It's fun. It's like I can get into it in the moment. You know what I mean? I can watch the Trailblazers and like get into watching the Trailblazers.
Fuck yeah. I fucking love the Trailblazers. I feel like going to hockey games is so much fun.
Hockey
that would be better.
So I haven't been to a professional hockey game, but we have a minor or the step under whatever that is team here.
Yeah.
And I've gone to that. Actually what is the most legit one that I've gone to, but I think it might just be a Portland thing. And dude, you should do it. Everyone should experience this because it's a cool niche. Is the soccer here is like huge. Mm-hmm. Fucking the Timbers here. And like the state, you should come check out the stadium sometime here. It's the coolest stadium I've ever seen. Like, so if you're in Portland, it's on the west side. Have you seen that stadium? No. Providence Park. If you're walking down, you'll be walking on the west side, like downtown, and it's one of those stadiums that's just built into the ground. So you don't even see the stadium. Like you don't even realize there's a stadium, and you just be walking and you just like. And then you look down through a fence, and the stadium's like, 100 feet in the ground. And like on street level, you're just looking down into the ground. It's like, oh, whoa. It's a nice park. And then they have the whole Timbers Army thing. So a whole quarter of the stadium is dedicated to the Timbers Army. And they go bananas. Those people, out of every sporting event I've ever been to, the Portland Timbers, they go crazy. There's a guy that comes out with a chainsaw and cuts a tree every time or cuts a log out every time they score a goal, and everyone freaks out.
He did it! He did it! Yeah, I know soccer's crazy there, and in Seattle, it's probably
and then there's a huge rivalry between the Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timbers. So, anyways, back to the NFL thing. I was like, I don't know what team to pick. I don't know, and then it dawned on me. I'm like, dude, if I get Eagles tickets, I can just rub it in his face that I'm going to see the Eagles. And then even make fun of him more that I don't even care. You know what I mean? Like I'll go root for the other team. I'll go root for Seattle while the Eagles. But then, and I'm like, oh, let's get Eagles tickets. And the guy's like, hey, you artard, like look at the fucking home and away games, and fucking Eagles are home with Seattle this year, so they're not playing in Seattle. I was like, fuck. So I picked the Vikings. I was looking through the teams. I was like, I want to go see the Vikings. They were like, when I was a kid, the only time I got into football, Randy Moss time. You know what I mean? I was fucking.
Yeah.
It was Randy. I was into wide receivers, so at that time it was Randy Moss and who was the Buccaneers guy at the same time? Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
So it was Buccaneers, and I thought, aren't you a football guy? I figured you're supposed to know these things.
I know I'm supposed to. I don't know. I hate the fucking Vikings. I fucking hate them with a passion. Because
Why?
this is Viking country. This is Viking country up here. Everyone loves the Vikings.
They don't love Green Bay, or
no, they like the Vikings, and I fucking hate them. I think that they're just a giant waste of money, and they deserve to lose their football team. Just like I feel about a few other cities that have just dog shit fans and organizations. But I think that'd be sweet. I mean, it's hard for me to like the Seahawks. I mean, but I think it'd be a fun time, especially if you don't care and you're just there to have fun. It is a fucking drunk fest, though.
That's what I don't get. What you're saying? There was a guy at one of my last jobs who goes every year, at least tries to get one football game in, and fucking, I talked a lot to him about it, and he was just saying, dude, it's so big and so like there's so much going on, like. He's like, you never see the cheerleaders when you're watching TV, and he's like, the cheerleaders, there's like so much of the game you don't see on TV that's like all this shit going on. It's so much bigger, you know what I mean, than a baseball game. There's so much more people involved, and then the alcohol, everyone's way more rowdy. Fucking
yeah. Is it a nighttime thing or is it a daytime thing?
The Vikings game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's a Sunday game. Does that mean anything?
No, it means it could be day or night.
Okay.
So
I didn't pay attention.
I think the night ones is much more of a drunk fest because people drink all day long.
Oh, I'll drink in the daytime. I'll tell you what. I'll be that guy.
And then they get blacked out, so then they don't even remember the game. But and I've never been to a morning one, but I think that there would be less drinking.
A little bit
less.
At least 10% less.
Yeah, at least a little bit less. But I don't know. It's a fun time. Yeah, I think in real life you see more than you see on TV, and then I think on TV you see more than you see in real life, if that makes any sense.
Like you get closer and more personal to the players.
Yeah, and they're reading off stats, and they're, putting up scenarios, and they're, helping explain the whole thing. But I don't know. In real life, it's cool too because in real life it almost seems, harder. It seems like holy shit, like these guys are actually fucking balling out here. I don't know. It's just there's a lot more realism to the thing, but you just have to deal with the whole crowd and everything going on and getting in and getting out, and it goes by a lot quicker, I think. But it's a fun time. But I don't know. I think hockey or basketball would even be more fun to me. I think you're just like closer. I don't know. Maybe
yeah, and I think in the Moda Center where the Trailblazers play, it's not that big of an arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I assume I don't know if all basketball arenas are that way, but I would assume the Lakers would be massive. I would assume. You know what I mean? Or isn't that the Staples Center or something like that?
Yeah. That's a good
so
point.
the Moda Center is pretty personal. You know what I mean? I don't know what the seating count is, but it's definitely, when I went to the Mariners, it's way smaller than the Mariners Stadium, Safeco Field or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love the Trailblazers, man. I should have been a Trailblazers fan. I could
Come
still
down,
be.
dude. Fly down. Let's go to a Trailblazers game. That shit's cheap. You know what I mean? One of these times.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
That'd be sweet. Powerful Trailblazers.
Boom. And dude, I'm not a sports guy, but I feel like the Trailblazers actually have a pretty good organization going. They've put everything behind what's that guy's name? Why am I going blank on
Dame
this?
Lillard.
Yeah, Damian Lillard.
And balling out.
I've talked to a lot of basketball guys that are, I have a few buddies that are like, they play league and stuff like that, and they're super into basketball. And I've heard from multiple people, like they're like, dude, the Trailblazers will never do it. You know what I mean? Like just the way they're designed, like they'll just never be able to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I love how they've put like everything into Damian Lillard. You know what I mean? Like that's their fucking guy. And I've heard I've heard a lot of cool stories about Lillard. Like supposedly, like every year before they do their preseason stuff, he'll like pay to take all the guys on vacation. And, like, I've heard this, and you'll take them all in like private jets, and just to like have this like bonding experience. You know, get the team like riled up and ready to go play. Yeah.
Nice. He's a pretty good rapper too.
Yeah, I've seen some of his rap videos out on 4-wheelers and stuff.
Oh, really? I've never seen a video, but yeah, he's a fucking stone cold killer, baby. Fucking balling out. I love him.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I miss fucking sports in this goddamn country.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah. Dirty dogs.
But yeah, if I was in Portland, I'd be fucking balls deep in that Trailblazers arena.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You got next topic?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you need to put your phone on silent, buddy.
So
so unprofessional.
I mean, I have cameras, you know.
Okay.
But there's a plant in front of one of them, so I get these notifications. I get like 100 a day. All I need to do is go cut the plant. But the plant just keeps waving in the wind, and it's like bing, 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 bing.
Oh, you got the blue or whatever. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Stuff like that. So, okay, let me just dive into this, and then we'll get into what you want. Do you know anything about flag code?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So it's like the codes of how to display the American flag.
Okay, kinda. I mean,
yeah, it's you know, and it's like the thing is, it's like because throughout this week, I was like thinking about, you know, what should I talk about on the show? Should I talk about all these statues being torn down, or talk about this whole Bubba Wallace NASCAR thing, you know, all that craziness, and all these fucking idiot left and right people that I think are all just nuts. So I'm not trying to get in, you know, dive into that right now.
Yeah.
But it's like so talking about the right-wing people who are supposed to be the real Americans or whatever, the old school, make America great again, it's like all of them, none of you guys are fucking respecting the American flag that you think that you're respecting, because you're actually all retarded and fucking disrespecting it, and then calling people, you know, who like kneel during the national anthem disrespectful, when however you're all being disrespectful, because it's like if the flag is tattered, you're disrespecting it by displaying it. If you're wearing it on your clothing, you're disrespecting it by displaying it. It's like these are all codes that are in our government's. I don't even know where the codes exactly are. They're just there.
Yeah, you're saying like hanging it up in the back of your truck and flying down the road with it being disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is Chapter 1 of Title 4 of the United States Code. U.S. federal law, but failure to comply with it is not enforced. So people are like, oh, they're disrespecting the flag if they're burning it. But it's like, no, you're actually disrespecting it when you buy your girlfriend an American flag bikini, or you're wearing American flag underwear, or it's all... Because I saw this guy pull up in Albertsons the other day in his big truck, fucking skids to a stop, hops out, and I'm like, oh my God. But he has this flag on the back of his truck that's literally half a flag at this point. And it's all tattered and stuff, and I'm like, that you're not supposed to do that. Anyway, so there's just this website where it's like these are the 14 ways that you're disrespecting the American flag, and the text that they're pulling is actual text from the flag code. So it's like that right there, that picture is all, there's just like disrespect all over the place. But it's like the flag should never be displayed with the Union, the stars part, upside down, except as a signal of distress, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is not this situation does not qualify at a fucking parade. The flag should never be stepped on, which those people are doing. I mean, that's one thing. The flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery, or for covering a speaker's desk, draping a platform, or for any decoration in general. So this is Katie fuck Perry who's wearing it, which is completely disrespectful.
Wait, so
and against
right there is, would it be disrespect? So that last paragraph there, it'd be disrespectful to like hang a flag on your wall.
You got to hang it in the right way.
Okay, but that just said it's hard to read that. It's a little blurry, but it just said for for any decoration in general. Wouldn't that be like a decoration if you ever put it like hung it on your wall?
Probably, yeah. For any decoration in general, except for coffins, right? The
So
flag
unless
should
it's
never
on
be
a
drawn
flagpole,
back.
you pretty much are doing it wrong.
I don't know. Hang on. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. The flag should never be drawn back or bunched up in any way. Screenshot of a Minnesota State Fair photo where they're just lying. It's all bunched up. You can't have it all bunched up like that. The flag should never be used as a covering for a ceiling. So this is probably some British guy's apartment or something like that where the American flag's on the ceiling. Wrong. Disrespectful.
I don't think a British guy would put the American flag on a ceiling. I could see an American guy putting a British flag on his wall. The picture, we're looking at a bunch of pictures as he's doing this for people that are just listening. And right now we're looking at a picture of, it's given like examples of everything he's saying. And right now there's a picture of a bed with an American flag like up on the ceiling. And then right next to it on the dresser, there's a British flag. And I'm saying, yeah, that's definitely an American guy. A British guy would not hang an American flag above his bed. But an American guy would definitely hang a British flag because, I don't know, probably like soccer or something.
Right.
Sorry.
The flag should never be used for any advertising purpose. It should not be embroidered, printed, or otherwise impressed on certain articles as cushions, handkerchiefs, napkins, boxes, or anything intended to be discarded after temporary use. Advertising signs should not be attached to the staff or something. So, napkins, paper plates, cups. Because 4th of July is in a week from today, right? And this is common.
Which is going to be a shit show.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster.
I bet there's riots on the 4th of July. Well, no, it's going to be a weird 4th of July just with everything that's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all the fireworks canceled. People mad about that.
Goddamn right. From America.
The flag should never be used as part of a costume or athletic uniform, except that a flag patch may be used on the uniform of military personnel, firefighters, police officers, and members of patriotic organizations. So there's Walmart.com with the adult Halloween costume. People are so fucking crazy. Like,
so how do you feel about that? Do you agree with this stuff?
Yeah, it's the code. And I think you're an idiot if you're wearing it as a Halloween costume.
So how would you feel about, like, someone, like, I don't think we've touched on this, but what about, like, buying little bullshit flags and, like, putting it in a flower pot or something like that outside your house?
No, that's like decoration.
Little stick one? Okay.
It's ridiculous.
So what about the hanging off the, ballast or the post, like, off your deck? Like, what? What about that? Where people like go up like 6 feet and then just have a little deal. Is that acceptable, or does it have to be on a flagpole?
I think that's unacceptable. I mean, honestly, whatever. I'm just saying it's against the code of the country that you
unless you have a
flagpole.
That is it. That's all you can do.
Yeah. The flag should not have any mark, insignia, letter, word, number, figure, or drawing of any kind placed on it or attached to it. So there's the flag with an eagle on it. Unacceptable.
Yeah. Unacceptable.
The flag should never be used as a receptacle for receiving, holding, carrying, or delivering anything. Screenshot of a flag basket on Etsy. Ridiculous.
Dirty dogs. Wait, okay, hold on a second. Something I want to bring up here. So,
yeah,
where we'd be saying like the military would be like the shining, example of how we should respect the flag. You know what I mean? Like they always do big ceremonies and carry the flag properly and blah blah unfolding of the flag and stuff like that. What about or is my memory serving me correctly? But the whole campaign Uncle Sam thing. Isn't that guy all dressed up in American flag attire?
Yeah.
So
that's true. It did say it was like
unless you're Uncle Sam, you fucking put that flag down.
Except a flag patch may be used on the uniform.
Yeah, but isn't he like wearing like a jacket? Like now I want it. Am I just crazy? Am I? Is it? Is it not? Is he just
No, you're not
wearing
crazy.
like red and white and blue or something like that? Or
When a flag is so tattered that it no longer fits to serve as a symbol of the United States, it should be destroyed in a dignified manner. So you can always
so
contact your local.
he's not wearing a a flag. It's getting close. Here, I'll do the. How do you do?
Oh, it's just red and white.
It's just he's wearing a blue jacket with like a red bow tie, and then his hat has it's a white hat with stars for the whatever you call what do you call that, the band around the hat or whatever. It just has it's blue with white stars. So
It's flag
well,
adjacent.
I mean, yeah. And then there's here I'm seeing one that says, "Boys and girls, you can help your Uncle Sam win the war. Save your quarters." Blah, 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 war saving stamps or whatever. And that guy, because all the other pictures don't show his pants. And in one of the things, it shows he has red striped pants. Which, I mean, now you're really flirting with the flag. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So where does that fall? You know, I want you for the U.S. Army. You get?
I don't know.
You get where I'm getting at? I mean...
Yeah, I get it. I get where you're getting at. My point is that all of these, I'm attacking the people who are attacking other people. I'm saying you're all everyone's a hypocrite. Nobody's doing it the right way. But so if you want to dispose of a flag, you can contact your local American Legion or whatever. And Jesus Christ.
What?
And
I'm having problems now. I don't know how to get out of this.
yeah, you're sharing screen. It's fucking really weird.
Ah, I'm back. Sorry. It got weird
you can
there.
contact your local American Legion, and they'll dispose of the flag for you by burning it.
What's the American
There's a proper
Legion?
way to dispose of it, right? So a half tattered flag, no good. The flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, but always aloft and free. So there's the shit fuck NFL displaying it flat and horizontally or whatever. Wrong.
Huh.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
It's interesting.
When
shit.
they do that at an NFL game, isn't it like usually cops or whatever that do that, or no? Is that
No.
no? It's not
It's like
military
volunteers.
guys. It's like just people.
I mean, maybe sometimes, but a lot of times it's just like volunteers or something, or some sort of staff.
Well, I get okay. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know,
I don't know what to say there.
It's just the paper plates and the underwear.
I'm down.
It's
Yeah,
just-
I've heard that that argument. Like, don't be wearing the flag, the paper plates and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't buy them, but I don't know. Would make me mad. I get what you're saying. Are you up in arms about this, or is this?
no, I just find it interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
I just spent the week trying to develop an opinion about the statues and about the whole Bubba Wallace thing, and then I kind of just settled on just looking into the flag code and then ending it there.
Boom.
It was
You
a
want to
weird
get
week.
our guest on? We kind of started a little late, so we might have to do the guest in the middle and do an ending
Okay.
show. Yeah. I told them
Yeah.
10, and it's 10:10. Ren 10:10. Okay, well, we'll be back, guys, here in just a second. Get our guest on. Okay, boom, we're recording. Well, welcome back, everybody. We have Steve Axford here. It's a good buddy of mine. This is our guest this week. He's a musician. I think he's kind of in between real estate and tax right now. That's his whole gig. Great guy. I think this will be a good guest. He has a lot of different opinions than me, so we're kind of bringing him in to so that we're not leaning in one direction in this show. Because I feel like Brad has a lot of opinions that differ from mine, but maybe I'm a little bit louder than he is.
Good to be loud in this
Yeah.
day and age.
Yeah. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just dealing with all the craziness out there and the pandemic and whatever, just trying to
Right.
survive, right?
It's
Right.
real out there. And now
Yeah.
we've I don't know if you knew this, Brad, but we've gone like I don't think we've gone backwards in our steps, but we 3 days ago, now it's required in Oregon, or not in Oregon, but in all the counties, at least all these counties up here, it's mask required. Like you
Yeah.
have to have a mask,
Really?
like
Washington, too.
in public, and then in Washington's doing the same thing
Public.
because we
You
had the
hear,
huge spike.
Wait, so
You hear
are you wearing a mask all day
me?
Me?
at work? Yeah, Eric.
Well, I have to anyways on the job site I'm on. It's required at that plant. They require wearing a face mask all day, and I have to wear a face shield all day, which is it really bugs me,
Yeah.
especially because I'm working alone essentially. But yep.
Would that be, that's without a pandemic, you got to wear that.
No, that's with the pandemic. That's just as soon as this started, the guys who own that plant, the company that owns that plant, they just were like across the board. That's the rule for anyone on our job site is you have to wear a mask.
Makes some sense,
Yep.
even though
Yeah, we are not all mask required yet, but I took a training class this week for work, and it was required mask and gloves for all day. It was, they just told us, we have no choice. Like this is what it is. It's like, oh, all right.
So some background real quick, so you have to frame a reference. Steve, he lives in North Dakota. He's on the oil fields. So that's
Oh, wow.
what he's doing. Yep.
Yeah, I heard you guys kind of got slowed down a little bit because oil prices started plummeting, and they were like, "We don't
Yeah.
need as much oil," and which is,
Yeah.
it's always, makes me feel bad for the guys working out there and jobs, So
Yeah, no, it was negative. It was negative 37 that day, and I'm watching it on TV, and I'm like, "How the hell does it go negative 27?" And people are like, people are like, "You guys have nothing to worry about," and I'm like, "How do we have nothing to worry about? The product is negative $37." But luckily it came back up a little.
Yeah.
But still nowhere near what it was.
yeah, they're gonna pay us to buy it, right?
Yeah, exactly. At that point, you're paying people to store it
Yeah.
or buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, our supply chain is obviously something this whole thing has showed us is that's the most important thing. And, one little hiccup and, we don't have tons of backup because it's not economical, and,
Right.
if the truck lines get shut down or production gets shut down, it can affect people really quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So I had talked to Steve a few weeks ago, and I had brought up the album talk. And at the time, he had a few things to say. So I think we're going to rehash this top five album thing. So what I had said is I was arguing, and I've reneged on my views a little bit here, but I was arguing Taylor Swift up there. I'm going to drop that back down. But at least I have Dark Side of the Moon in there. I have, what was it? Dark Side of the Moon, American Idiot by Green Day. I was flirting with Michael Jackson, Thriller. What was the other one?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
what the other ones were.
But you brought up, when we were talking, let's hear what you have to say, because you brought up one album in particular when we were talking the other day, and I was like, oh, shit. And we went through the list, and it was just like, oh, those are crazy.
There's so many, man. And, I kind of hate these questions because it's kind of like I got to give respect to albums that sold a whole bunch, but then they're not necessarily my top five. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of difference. And sometimes there's like, okay, this sold really well, and I really like it. But, I'm kind of just, I went through the Rolling Stones top 500 albums and kind of scrolled through that pretty quick. And there was definitely a few in there that I'd forgotten about that probably should be in there. But then, of course, I have my favorites and stuff, too. I think the one you were talking about was either Hotel California or Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John.
No, I was talking the Cars one you brought up.
The Cars. Yep, the Cars album.
Because we went through that list, and I was like, whoa. So was that a self-titled album?
I think
or
it
what?
was a self-titled one.
Their
that
first
has
album.
Pretty much every song's a hit.
Do you want to look that up, Brad? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, it's that one's bananas. That one's too crazy. It kind of blows out all the other
oh
ones.
my god.
You-
Yeah, it goes like Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed, I'm in Touch with You,
Yep, I've heard
Don't You
that song too.
Stop, You're All I've Got Tonight, Bye Bye Love, Moving in Stereo, All Mixed Up. I mean, these first three are giant
Half that
songs.
album is some of the biggest. I mean, those are probably top 50,
Yeah.
like top 50 rock and roll songs. You know, when they do that on the radio, they probably all are on that list.
Yep,
Like
that was
that's
Right.
on the Rolling Stones top. I can't remember the number. I think it was in top 50 though.
Right.
Did you? So you looked up the Rolling Stone top 50. Do you remember what the top album was?
Yeah, it actually had top 500. So top album was, geez, I can't remember the exact order anymore. So I remember seeing their top one though, and I was a little bit surprised. What the heck was it? I should look it up
Was
again.
it not Thriller?
It might have been. Thriller was definitely top 10. So let me pull it up again.
I'll pull it up too.
Yeah, look up Rolling Stone top 500. It has, but just
Yeah,
go.
Brad's
Go by 50 at a time, so you can do 50 to the top to the first one.
Oh my God! Yeah, this is gonna take a minute.
Yeah, there's some
I
kind
can
of
only do
random
50 at a
stuff, too.
time.
sorry. What'd you say?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some kind of random stuff in there, where it's a little surprising. So it's their top 50, 500, all.
Do you
all
think
time.
so? How do you think they're rating that? Are they rating that on album sales? Are they rating that on
Yeah, it's definitely not strictly
No.
sales. They're not going strictly from, number one sales. Because I think number one sales all time is like Thriller, Hotel California, keep going back and forth. If you're
Yeah.
not,
So my, this argument kind of originated with, I'm saying it's not necessarily singles, in my opinion, for the top album. It isn't necessarily singles. It can be like the idea of the album, which is why I'd put American Idiot and Dark Side of the Moon right up there at the top. Because I don't think neither of those albums really have any single, their singles aren't really there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got pretty much one single for both those albums. And I feel like on both those albums, those songs almost don't even fit in the album. American Idiot, not so much saying that. But on Dark Side of the Moon, to me, Money doesn't even fit in that album. Like,
Right.
it comes out of left field. It's so weird. It doesn't match. But then to me, that album as a whole is just, it's just such a piece of art. It's just this beautiful piece of art that they put together. Whereas,
Yeah.
One of our other guests had brought up, that The Wall is better. And I refuse that statement. I do not like The Wall. I don't like
Right,
that
but
album.
you're in the minority. You're in the minority with that opinion, right?
All I'm saying, I'm giving so much credit to the art piece itself. And I think that's,
Right.
I think that's, as a musician, I think there's something to be said about, you're making an art piece with an album. It's not just about album sales. It's not just about your singles on there. It's like you're making a painting. You have an hour to paint a picture, and you painted a beautiful picture.
Right.
But then there's also something to be said. When I was saying the Taylor Swift thing of just bangers of just nothing but singles.
right. I think that's part of the argument of, favorite album of all time, where it goes, some albums, and especially in the 70s and 80s, it was a lot more about a cohesive statement on an album, kind of the songs go together, work together, go from one into the other, have a little bit of different, uniqueness to every song, but you're right, it has to be cohesive.
So do you have a top five? What's yours?
Well, I mean, heck, I'm from Jersey, man, and growing up, I listened to all kinds of stuff. And then when I heard Springsteen, I just got hooked. So I got to pick a Bruce album, and I was looking through them. I mean, Born in the USA is a great album, and certainly was on MTV back in the day a bunch. So that kind of broke him into mainstream a lot more. But Born to Run is kind of his seminal album. It's really his third album, came out in like 75, and he had all kinds of problems with management and stuff in his recording contract, because back in the day, he's 20 years old signing a recording contract. Next thing you know, he finds out he's not getting hardly any money from it. They're stealing his rights, and his manager aren't treating him very well. They're basically ripping him off, and so he got sick of it. And then he did Darkness on the Edge of Town after Born to Run, and which is also a great album. But that like there's about a 2 or 3 year period in between the two, which is kind of long when you're young and you're trying to hit it. You want to do an album a year, you know, at least. So, so I put that one in there for myself. The Crosby, Stills and Nash, the album that's self-titled, where them sitting on the porch. That album is like the harmonies on it can't be beat. I've never heard an album where 3 dudes get together in 3-part harmony. You know, David Crosby, Stephen Stills, and Graham Nash get together, and their voices just unbelievable. Every song is good. You know, it's a little folky for most people. You know, it's not a rocker. The songs aren't all bangers. You know, so you know it's a little bit old and stuff. But so I got to run through a bunch of albums just because, and I hate the list of top 5s because there's so many I always leave out. But Prince, 1999, to me, that album kind of changed my life. I mean, I saw Purple Rain, you know, and I was like, oh, this guy's good. And then I heard 1999. I'm like, wow, that album blew me away. It's kind of a double album, so a bunch of the songs are kind of like extended dance cuts, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's incredible. I mean, it's got Little Red Corvette in 1999 is the big hits on there. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
You know, Pearl Jam 10. You know,
yeah, Rob had said that one.
I like almost every song on it. So, Hendrix, Are You Experienced?
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Definitely big one.
Van Morrison, Moondance. Once again, you know,
he's good choice there.
Yeah, he's a little sappy for a lot of the people nowadays, but every song on there is good. You know,
and everyone's heard those songs. You know what I mean? Like that's in every coffee shop across the country.
Yep. Billy Joel, The Stranger. To me, that's one of those albums where everything comes together. I mean, you look at that. Even you guys will probably recognize almost every song on it, and the ones you don't, you should listen to. Be like, oh yeah, I heard that song. It's a good one, and the album really is cohesive.
Yeah. Yep.
So let me just throw out a few more, just because, and I have several on here too. I mean, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? That's a great album. Probably one of the greatest singers of all time. You know, great songwriter as well. You know, I got to have Bob Marley too. The guy changed my life. Once I heard him, I'm like, there's this whole different type of music out there that's just like, oh my God. And the guy kind of created it a lot, or at least his own sound.
So what's his album?
Yeah.
So Legend is the best-selling reggae album.
Yep.
Now the thing is, it's kind of a greatest hits. So it goes a little bit against the grain of can't really have a greatest hits. So if I had to pick one of his albums before that, Catch a Fire is one of the best ones. So if you're going to check out like an album, once again, it's like all kind of created around the same time and the songs go together real well. That's a good one. Carole King, Tapestry, man. That thing has almost every song recognizable. People cover a lot of those songs. So it's a solid album. Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Kind of take it out of the rock thing. Now I know we're talking about rock albums more.
No, I mean I'm throwing Taylor Swift in, so you know
exactly. So you know, and definitely, man. You know, I was thinking too about it's like when you grow up and you start listening to music, and for people that fall in love with music, it's kind of what speaks to you when you're young. You know, it's like you know, I didn't like Prince that much at first because I'm like, well, here's this. You know, little guy was kind of effeminate, maybe a little bit, dances around, wears weird clothes. He's like a girl or something. I don't know. You know, I couldn't relate. Like Queen came out, and you know, Queen's got a couple banging albums out there for sure too. But it kind of didn't really speak to me personally. So it was like, and I'm like, I'll never sing as high as that guy either. And I like to sing along with the records. So it's kind of like, you know, you kind of end up falling in love with stuff that you relate to personally. So let me see if there's anything else.
Were you a Rush guy?
Not really. Once again, his voice was kind of goofy to me. But, you know, overall, I mean, you know, nowadays there's so mmany great songs that they put out, and they had such a huge career. I mean,
I'm not a Rush fan at all. I love asking people that. I love to hear people's, because it's such a weird thing. There's just like, it's, I'm assuming probably, you know, a lot with like Bruce Springsteen or whatever. You know, it's just like they have the most diehard, you know, fan base like that 100%. Till they die.
Like Gilbert, right?
Yeah. And I cannot stand Rush. I don't know. It drives me nuts listening to Rush.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I mean, Kenny Lee's voice at first, too, I was just kind of like, I can't really listen to more than one at a time.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like Led Zeppelin, too. It was like, Robert Plant. I mean, when growing up, all my friends loved Zeppelin. So I kind of didn't feel like, well, I don't need to go buy a Zeppelin album because my friends playing it all the time. But then again, I was like, Robert Plant, this guy's singing in like a high tenor or alto range. I'm like, I can't sing along with that guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it. Blew me away because I don't know. I was introduced to Zeppelin pretty young, and I really liked it. And then as years went on, I kept hearing people say that, and like I never even thought about it, like complaining about his voice. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, and now I kind of, you sit back and listen to it. You're like, yeah, I guess he does kind of whine when he sings. It's, in a higher register. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, he can't really do that stuff anymore, which is cool. I get it. And he's kind of like, I don't need a Zeppelin reunion because I can't really sing those songs anymore anyways. You know, and trying to do it, it's kind of painful, Like I was thinking Journey, not that I'm putting them in my top albums, but, Steve Perry was a great singer and nobody could imitate him. I mean, Neil Sean and the rest of the band were looking for a replacement for Steve Perry forever and auditioned hundreds and hundreds of people. Nobody cut it. And they hear this guy playing karaoke in Philippines. They get somebody, records them on their phone or something. Somebody sends it to Neil Sean. He's like, wow, this guy's good. They fly him in to audition, and next thing you know, they've been touring with them for years now. I think they're going to actually put out an album with them. So,
have you ever heard that? You ever hear that story, Brad? That's a cool little rock and roll story. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy,
that's awesome.
And seems like a super cool guy too. And he did well with the crowd and stuff. He's kind of self-effacing. He doesn't seem like he necessarily is the type of guy that wants the limelight, so much. But he can hit the notes, which is, with Journey and Steve Perry, that's imperative,
Yeah.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, the number one on that Rolling Stones list was Sgt. Pepper.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I mean, they got 5 Beatles albums, I think, in the top 50 or something.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, we talked about
the top.
Yeah, we talked about Abbey Road. Probably for us would be the one where it's like every song is.
Yeah, I think Abbey Road is hands down their best album. But to me, that's the art piece. There's like an art piece there with that album. Like it's perfect.
It's almost like Sgt. Pepper's a little more experimental, which is cool. I dig that too.
Yeah.
And you get bored doing the same thing over and over, at least if you're an artist, and you want to kind of expand your palette and you don't want to just keep giving people pop tunes. You think about Beatles when they first started, their songs were 3.5 minutes in a cloud of dust,
Yeah, we had kind of touched, I think it was along the lines of this argument, but Brad had brought up at one point, what would you listen to if you were stuck on an island? And it kind of ties into this. And it's like, I think the Beatles would probably be one of the best ones just for what you're saying. Like, they tried to jump lines, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, their early stuff, their 60s stuff is totally different. You know what I mean? It is like a totally different genre. Yeah. And then even as they progress, they go through like 3 different genres. You know what I mean? They go through the psychedelic, the rock, and then, original rock and roll.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they kind of came out of a little bit of folky thing too. I've been with this pandemic, we're all streaming all kinds of stuff, and there's all these Paul McCartney interviews, and he cites Everly Brothers as like one of his biggest influences in the beginning. Which is 2 guys playing acoustic guitars singing along to folk songs, and so that was part of their tradition as well. And then they kind of fell in love with American music and the blues and stuff, and then Elvis obviously was one of the huge influences on him.
Do you think Elvis has any play in that? Did he do an album that's big, or is he just more greatest hits?
Yeah, I mean that's looking through his discography, it's hard for me to find one where I'm like that album is the greatest one, but certainly any of his greatest hits is going to have all great songs.
He's one of those guys that's more just a greatest hits album. He just did such an extended amount of work.
Yeah, it was a lot harder to be productive back then between, studios being more rare and, having recording equipment and getting the musicians together. They were more about, they toured. That's how they got their fans, and
Yeah, yeah,
when he got it, once TV came around, he got on TV, and then it just blew up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but man, that's 50s, 70 years ago.
So was Elvis like a little bit more like mass record sales, and he was more just radio play, and then sort of all those other bands you were talking about, or were just all the record sale bands, which you would want a full album, when Elvis was kind of just more just radio?
Yeah, I mean, I think Elvis a little more was singles were big, where it was like, okay, you got this album, all the songs are solid, but what's your single? And I think that went up all the way to the 70s. And, a guy like Springsteen kind of got hurt by that a little bit because he wasn't great at producing pop singles. He got better at it later on in his life. And those songs I don't necessarily even like as much personally. I'd rather hear a 5 or 6 minute song rocker, or something that's got a little bit of, it's not just one pace. It kind of has ups and downs, songs that have a little more dynamics to them. So, but
that's kind of crazy that now we've completely came back to that where it's all just singles.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's, the Taylor Swift, she's amazing at that. You're 100% right, I mean, once again, it's kind of like where it's not really music written for me. It's kind of written for teenage girls and Eric. So, just kidding. But yeah, no, they're great songs. I listen to them too, and I'm like, yeah, it's a great song, and she's beautiful, certainly, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, that's debatable. That's
he's
okay. Sorry. That little thing.
So let me ask this: am I just a complete, worthless human being for maybe not wanting to vote in November?
No, man.
Or
I mean,
because Joe Biden is just a terrible, terrible candidate in my opinion.
I hear you. I mean, hey, I've always been an independent, really, tell you the truth. So, and I'm not like a monolithic person where I'm always for the Democrat, But I think in this case, I'm going to vote for Biden myself. And I hear the whispers where it's like, Joe, wake up, Joe. Okay, take the sunglasses off, buddy. So, I really think he's a good guy. And, he's been in public office for so long, which nowadays is a little bit of, it's a detractor. Used to be like, hey, it's great you have experience, you done all this stuff. But if you go, somebody been in office for 30 or 40 years, you go through his record and you want to pick out little, bills and stuff that he voted for or supported. And, these bills are so huge nowadays. There's always going to be something carried on there that's not good. And sometimes you don't know what the unintended consequences are of a particular law that you sign into effect, And, it's like the Democrats and Republicans came together in the 90s for that crime bill that everybody derides now. And, at the time it was like, hey, these crack dealers are killing people for drugs and for, and for money and for, their territory. And so let's stop that. Well, it ended up sweeping up some guy with one little vial of crack, ended up doing 10 years in jail, and he's just a user. It's like, we have to distinguish between who's a user and a victim in this drug war, and then who's the guy that's, got millions of dollars and he's killing people.
Right.
It's like
I don't know. I just it's like probably the most I've only been a voting age for 2 elections now, but it feels like the least inspired, election that I've seen in my fucking 28 years.
No, the last one was like the 2 most unpopular people in the world running against each other. It's like, how do we get to this space? It's really sad.
Yeah.
I agree. Our system's kind of messed up.
Yeah, and I think right now what's going on, I get being uninspired by a candidate, but I think what's, a big thing, especially on the right side, and obviously big on the left side, is right now it's like not even a person, you know what I mean? It's more just like it's just so, this side versus that side, you know what I mean? And it's like, I look at the left and it's like, they don't even care about Biden, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, we're just going to beat, care about Biden. They just like, we're just going to beat Trump. You know what I mean? Like that's like the focus. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah, but it's just so uninspiring where it's like you have a country of 350 million people and this is the candidate.
yeah, I mean,
that you have
this was
4
okay.
years?
This was one of my big turning points because I used to be very liberal, you know, and I still have like the healthcare thing. We can, you know, I'll agree. So I think that's possible, you know, socialized healthcare. But I was definitely a Bernie fan when that all started, and that was my big you know, I really got mad at the DNC for what they did during the Hillary and you know, they screwed him over. And it's like, you know, when on the last election, when the DNC was doing their thing, there was a Facebook thing going around to where they said, get on your friends, or you can get on Bernie's page, Facebook page, get on Hillary's Facebook page, and get on Trump's Facebook page. And look at how many of your friends like, because if you click on it, it'll show you how many of your friends have liked that page. And like everyone was doing screenshots of their, and then posting the post of it. And everyone's Bernie page was just, their numbers were astronomical. And then Hillary was like way down here. And it was like, it was obvious. It was obvious who the country wanted. And even this round, it was obvious who the country wanted. Well, I mean, Yang, you know, a lot of people were for the Yang thing. And then like, how did Biden win this? You know what I mean? And it just shows how corrupt. And I'm not just attacking the left here. It's corrupt across the board. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just I feel like the parties are so corrupt. And, you know, and to me, that's why I think a big turn on for the Trump side. You know what I mean? They're seeing a break from that. You know what I mean? Like all the Trump guys are like, see, we finally got a guy in who's not a fucking politician. You know what I mean? Who's not, and that's a big selling point for the right. You know what I mean? That's they're really standing behind that. Just like, and that was, you know, and that was a big turning point for me. Was watching that, I got so mad. I'm just like, this is bullshit. Like Bernie deserved that. Like he absolutely deserved that. The country wanted it. And then it happens again. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just, I feel like the left is so up in arms about things. Like, why aren't they attacking their own party? Like, fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. How did you do that to us? Twice now.
No, I think I hate to say, you're right. And I think the left, right and left, but yeah, the left, they eat their own a lot more than Republicans, where Republicans decide they like somebody. It don't matter if the guy shoots somebody in the face on Fifth Avenue. They're still gonna like him. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
But the left is so much more. There's this purity test going on, the political correctness. It's like you say the wrong thing or you laugh at the wrong time. You know, like Howard Dean back in the day when he was starting to win, and all of a sudden he just gives one speech where he gets a little too excited, and everybody's like, "Oh no, that guy's an idiot." It's like, well, what happened to all his policies that we liked, you know? And he was kind of a populist, super smart guy, and he just got eviscerated, and then you never heard from him again. So, no, the two-party system, I would blow it up if I could. Unfortunately, I can't, and it's kind of an either-or choice for me now. I mean, I know you younger voters out there, and I appreciate that, and I do think you should vote, even if you just write in your own guy, write in Erick for president, you know, or Brad here. You know, you guys would do a better job, I think, than the jokers we got up there nowadays. But, I mean, I remember back in 2000 where it was Gore and Bush, and I voted for Ralph Nader. And, you know, my friends on the left kind of eviscerated me. Like, what are you doing? You know, that's the reason why.
Throwing your vote away. Yeah.
Throwing your vote away. Yep. And but Al Gore with his whole censorship thing, you know, when he was censoring albums and stuff, that bugged me. So I kind of didn't want to go along with him, you know. But I also knew it was kind of a protest vote. I was voting for an expanding democracy against the two-party system at the time. I kind of regret it a little bit, although it didn't really have any effect because my, you know, Oregon, of course, is going to be, you know, Democratic almost all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But,
I'm registered as a Democrat voter here in Oregon. I
nice.
still have yet to change that.
But you don't get to vote in the primary, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't matter because obviously Trump. I don't even know, was there a primary for the Republicans? I think there was, right?
I don't even know. I've been so checked out lately, dude.
No, and it's sad that in our country that voting has become something like I don't even want to bother because it's a shit salad and a turd sandwich, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. Why you're eating shit. Yeah, no, and but I do think you should vote, and even if you write in, who you think is best out there, write in Bernie or write in whoever you want. That's a good thing to be involved in. It is one of the things that makes our country, I think democracy is an important thing,
Yeah.
And, I look at other totalitarian dictatorships, and certainly China, they're not really getting any kind of vote.
Right.
So last week and I think I had talked to you about this rant. I can't remember if it was before or after that we had talked. I think it was we had talked before the last podcast came out. But last week, I kind of went off on a little bit of a rant, and it was less left and right stuff, but I mean it's all kind of tied in together. It was more along the lines of the riots right now, the police, blah blah, and something Brad had brought up, and I watched this week was, have you seen the Chappelle? What is it again? 846 or whatever it is. 826.
Yeah, just a new 27-minute special on YouTube.
But it's called like 826 or something like that.
I didn't actually
846. It's like 8 minutes and 46 seconds
from the George Floyd getting killed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
George Floyd was. I do want to watch it, and I've seen a little bit about it, and I heard, I love Dave Chappelle. The guy's one of the most hilarious people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and I had so last week I had
he's
a lot of
as well. He's he's up to date on stuff, and
last week I had a lot of what we were talking about is inequality. You know what I mean? And I see the George Floyd thing happen, and I feel like now a lot of these riots I feel like aren't really about police brutality. People are using it as a just the rants they were already on with Antifa and stuff. They're just like joining in and doing it in the guise of George Floyd and that. And then it kind of got into, I was really nervous once I posted the video or sent the video over to Brad to post about what I said. And then that kind of ties into what the whole thing was, I hate this, everyone's talking about this inequality thing and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like, yeah, I watched that Chappelle thing, and man, it really got me thinking. Like, it really, it really, and I felt bad for a lot of the things I said. I still definitely hold those viewpoints of like, I don't see inequality in this country like people are making it out to be. And, but this isn't the Chappelle thing. It really has nothing to do. He's really focusing on what happened with George Floyd and police brutality against black people. Like, and it's hard, it's
made me uncomfortable.
It's very, he is mad. He's very upset, and he's very, he articulates what he's trying to say very well. And, he obviously did a little bit of, prep with, because it's not just about George Floyd. It's all, he brings up a lot of other circumstances where police have killed, black men. And he tells the story about the, I'd never even heard that story about the police officer in Los Angeles, the black guy that ended up going, and it's an interesting viewpoint. So I didn't remember this story at all, but supposedly there was this black cop who watched a woman kill some guy or watched her do something effed up on the job, and then he went and reported it to his supervisor and like blah, 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 and he ends up getting fired for it. And he was super upset because he was like, dude, I did everything I was supposed to do. I went to my supervisor, I did all this stuff, and then they fired him, and he tried to get a job back and didn't get a job back, and he was extremely upset, and then writes this manifesto and then goes out and starts killing cops. You know what I mean? And like, I don't remember this at all. But then I don't know what year this was, but then the cops found him, and they went after him with like 400 police officers and shot him dead. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And then I get what, the connection he's making there. He's like, when you're a black guy and you do something like that, they come after you with full guns blazing. But, they're not even holding these cops responsible, in their eyes. You know what I mean? Like, and they're not holding not just the George Floyd cops, but all these other cops with, they're not holding them responsible for what they're doing, because the people are black and they're white. And I get it. Like, I get the argument there. My only argument, I'll let you talk here in a second, sorry. But my only argument to that is I just think with 250 million people, you're going to find anything you want to find. You know what I mean? Like, any injustice you want to find is going to be found in America with just this number of people. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're going to have racist cops. How do you get rid of that? You know what I mean?
Right.
There's always going to 250 million people. If 10 times if something happens, I mean, I get it. It's a weird thing. It's weird what's going on right now. Like, and I with the Chappelle thing, I would say watch it. I mean, I don't think you need to be, have that. I needed that. You know what I mean? I needed that check for myself. You know what I mean? I needed that check from someone else's opinion and just like, this is wrong and this is why we're rioting. I don't know. I had to really stop and, check myself. Like, fuck, that is
well, and I've been trying to develop an opinion this week on the statue teardowns. It's like, I just don't know. It's hard to even voice how I feel about it. It's like, I don't know. That's just throwing that in there too, for where it's at now.
Yeah, I don't even. I heard that, and I really don't even have an opinion about it. It's just like.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think people get frustrated and they just want to destroy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a shame. I do think some of the Confederate statues, I can get where people are fed up, and they think this represents slavery and this represents, the side that's seceded from the Union and tried to say, hey, United States, screw you, we're going to do our own thing and we think you're wrong. And they lost, which is sad. It doesn't mean that they should be erased from history books. Obviously, history is what it is, whether you like it or not, and a lot of it's very unseemly. So, but the thin blue line you were talking about before, I think is really where the change has to come, which I think our elected officials should and could be, are able to do some changes there, where we are right. I mean, if cops need to they police themselves, which is a problem. Anytime people are, forced to report against themselves and they're trying to have unity at the same time and they have to look out for each other, also realizing how difficult their job is for sure. And they're getting into confrontations with people all the time, and if you slip and go a little too far and then all of a sudden you're a murderer, but it needs to be called out, they are held to a higher standard. So it's not, and it's not like, I don't think a guy should be fired for having a certain point of view, or posting something on Facebook or whatever. But, if he commits a crime or goes too far using violence and force, on the job against somebody, then you have to be held accountable, and unfortunately, the only ones really to hold them accountable, unless there's somebody there taking a picture of it with their iPhone, which is one of the big differences nowadays. It's like Rodney King never would have happened if someone didn't catch that on their, back in their camcorder back then. Now everybody has a phone. So, they see the George Floyd thing happen and, nobody's saying the guy's an angel, but he didn't deserve to die like that either.
Well, yeah, and that's what, in that Chappelle special, he really drives that point home. And it really, he really paints a good picture of, by the end of that little special, it brought a lot of emotion. It was like, and it wasn't even like white or black. It's just like, dude, this guy put his knee on this guy's neck for
handcuffed.
Yeah. Like what was it again? 826 or whatever it is. That is an asinine long amount of time. Like that is crazy long amount of time. That is such excessive force. And then, like that is murder. That is 100% murder. That guy should, there's a difference there. Absolutely. There's a difference between a cop going too far in the heat of the moment. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to excuse cops sometimes for that. I believe that, white or black or anything. Like, you don't, that's a hard job. And, if they make a decision to pull their gun out and use it, that sucks. But if they really feel like their life's on the line or something like that. But in this case with George Floyd, that is murder. That is cold-blooded murder. You know what I mean? Like, that he was in zero danger. You're handcuffed. You know what I mean? You do not need to be applying force to someone's neck like that. That's murder. That guy should. And then the same with the cops standing there. That is extremely wrong. Like that they just sat there and watched that. Like that is.
That's a whole other thing with the accessory. Where the other cops are there. And apparently, one cop did chime in, like, "Hey, we got the guy. He's under control. Let up." And the cop with his knee on the Chauvin's guy or whatever his name was, basically blew him off and decided not to listen. Did you hear where those two actually had, the Chauvin and George Floyd, had a relationship before?
I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the cop had it out for him.
Well, I saw where they interviewed there was a woman that owned the club where they both were bouncers at, basically, and they do oftentimes cops will take side jobs as security guards at
Yeah.
bars or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So, and that's all good. But apparently they did meet each other. She didn't know, the owner of the club didn't know if they actually knew each other. I heard Joe Rogan, so I'll cite my source, where he said he heard that they did know each other and that George Floyd was admonishing Chauvin for, being using too much force in the bar, trying to get people out of the club or whatever. And he would, beat them up or just go excessive, rather than, okay, get the hell out of here and go home or go away.
Yeah.
He would hurt people, and Floyd called him out on it. And so they had a relationship. And,
So then it's,
that
it's
was,
almost premeditated at that point.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I
I
mean?
agree. That makes it even worse. He had that out for him.
Yeah.
He probably, he's like, oh, really? You're going to tell me what to do, mister? No, I got you. And next thing you know, he kills him. So
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, the only problem, like and I really had to stop and think about it, and I support that, like that. But my fix is, when people are saying disband the cops, it's like that's ridiculous to me. It's
course.
just we need to come up with a better way to hold them responsible. But also at the same time, I'd argue you got to give cops, we need them. They're doing extremely dangerous things. If a cop accidentally kills someone, fearing for his life, we can't just, but
Right.
in this case, absolutely, they need to be held extremely responsible for what happened.
Yep.
And in any case like this, like they
Yep.
need to be held responsible.
100%.
But what makes me mad about what's going on with this thing and BLM, and it's more I'm upset and like where I'm attacking, where the flip side of that would be I hate what's happening as far as I think there's a lot of people just out there rioting and they don't even care really about the George Floyd thing. They're just using they're using what's happening in the world right now as just an excuse, an excuse to go be a piece of shit. Because
That's definitely true, and that's not an exception on the right or the left. It's kind of the fringe groups on both sides. Where and rioting is not protesting. That's you're just being destructive. You're frustrated, and angry. With this high rate of unemployment, the pandemic, everybody's shut in. There's so much pent up energy and anger with people that they go and lash out, not even know what they're doing. I mean, I heard they're tearing down George Washington statues. And he was a guy that, yes, he had some slaves before the Revolution, and after the Revolution, he released all his slaves. He realized, and he treated them well. But that's the way that business was done then, and horrible thing. But he had a reckoning, and he understood that this is a horrible thing to do. And hopefully, he did treat the folks that he quote unquote owned well or better than most. And he definitely freed them once he realized and said, hey, we should all be free. And that's 1776. And so, it's hard to tear down his likeness. It's just, it's just some crazy people being frustrated, and I hate to say they're on the fringes of the right and the left,
Yeah.
And some people are just, they're opportunists, It's not the vast majority of people protesting saying, hey, man, police brutality is terrible, which we all know, and we need to do something about it. And, I was a lot more of an activist when I was younger, but, I don't have any problem with protesting, but rioting and vandalism and burning down buildings is stupid and counterproductive.
Yeah. It ruins your reputation on what you're protesting. It just makes you look bad. Like
you're right, and it kind of does smear the whole. That's what I just don't want to lump the whole group of people in all together. Like I said, I think the vast majority of people protesting have the right, the right state of mind, and they're not doing the violence and the destructive behavior. But they get lumped in with the people that are destroying things. So, it's kind of, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King argument. Martin Luther King was protest, and I'm not against. Hey, someone's got their boot on your neck. You got to do anything you can to get it off. And people feel like that too. And people, especially people on the fringes of society, that they've had a tough life, and they've had bad encounters with police, and one little thing's going to send them over the edge. Like that cop you were talking about that. Was trying to do the right thing, and next thing you know, he gets fired for doing the right thing, which I agree.
Right.
That's probably, that kind of thing has to stop. We have to kind of, whistleblowers in this society in general need to be defended for so many reasons, and that goes to a lot of different
Yeah, it's like
aspects.
Edward Snowden's still in Russia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still
Oh, yeah.
banned from this country. And what he did, he saw an injustice and did the right thing. Like, I mean, you can argue it, but yeah,
Erick Snowden?
absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I had a little bit of issue where I'm for freedom of information as well, but you shouldn't be turning over the names of all these people and addresses. That was wrong. That's government secrets. And it's like, if someone does, that's kind of the whole mob mentality we have in this country now too, where it's, where it's like, if someone does something wrong, all of a sudden people want to have a mob go over there and burn his house down and kill a person, and the people in the government, in the military, there's tons of things that were wrong there, but it's like, do we need to expose the individuals?
And put their family in danger and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
What's that called? Isn't that called dead naming? Isn't that what the new word is for that?
What's that?
Is that right, Brad? Isn't it dead naming or something like that when you do that to someone?
I've never heard that before.
There's a term for and it's big on I think it's dead naming. It's like where you'll name someone, like you show their address and then the internet takes over. You know what I mean?
We have a mutual friend that, just recently.
Yeah, we talked. This is kind of what inspired our kind of political rant last week was I brought up. I didn't name any names. I didn't name the bar. I didn't name any of that. But I told the story of what happened, and I was pretty upset with everything there because I was just like, this is ridiculous, man. Like this is just so ridiculous that now this dude's like life is almost in danger. You know what I mean? And it's just like because. And then to me, I lumped that in with and you want to say that inequality, exist again, that we just, it's just like, to me, this is all ridiculous. Like, I really don't feel like, I feel like in this country, you 100%, everyone has a level playing field other than super rich people. But that doesn't have anything to do with race. But you could argue, well, these rich families, had all this time to build equity, build wealth in their family, and now they're the top of the top, and everyone else is screwed, and mainly minorities are screwed. But to me, I'm obviously lumped in with their group. You know what I mean? I'm poor. You know what I mean? I don't have any wealth. You know what I mean? I'm the same as all these people, and it's like I have the same opportunity as everyone else. So this kind of white guilt thing, that is a strong thing. I really disagree with it. It's just like I didn't do anything. My parents didn't do anything. Right. You know what I mean? Like we're working just as hard as you are. Right. You know what I mean? I don't see it. The only thing I do see, but even then I don't feel like they have a right to bitch, is women. I feel like the one thing I do see is I see how men treat women. You know what I mean? Like in a workplace environment. You just don't. When a girl comes into my construction, you're going to baby her with everything. You'll be like, no, don't lift that. And that's just how men are to women. I can see that in reality. But as far as black and Mexicans and that, I don't see it. I don't see it. When they come in a job site, I don't see them treated any different. I do see, like a Mexican group, they all stick to one side, white guys all stick to one side, but it's just the language barrier. It has nothing to do with hate or race, and yes, there's probably a guy in my group of 20 guys that hates them, or something like that. But it's like, okay, but there's probably a guy over in their group that hates us. What are we going to do there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hear you, man. And, the one thing I will say is I'm kind of an old guy, and I was basically born right around the time civil rights was signed, where before I was born, black people were, segregated, and you had different water fountains, and there was all kinds of lynching and murdering stuff going on. And that's in my lifetime, basically.
Yeah. And that wasn't that long ago, 70 years ago. Like we were dealing with that.
So the thing is, okay, so now the law says, okay, you can't do that anymore. You can't segregate people. Ready, go. It doesn't mean now, okay, doesn't make everything all better. That doesn't make 400 years of slavery go away, right? So,
but what do we do?
No, we had to talk the other day about affirmative action, which I tend to be for. And I know you were like, oh, no, that's not fair. And it's not fair. That's true. I mean, everything should be based on merit and objectivity. and the person doing the most, working the hardest, producing the most deserves to go ahead. In our society, that's kind of the way it really does work. It's a capitalist society. However, I think in certain situations, we want diversity to be emphasized as well. So, if you're a college and you have scholarships to give out and, opportunities for people, well, maybe it looks like only white males are the ones that are doing the work that is making them eligible for advancement, eligible for scholarships, eligible to get the job. Whereas, a black kid who never had the chance, never had the ability to, have a good education, he deserves an opportunity as well, even though maybe his resume is not quite as good. So I think sometimes it's okay in that case. I'm not saying, obviously, if it's a tie, certainly, if you don't have diversity already in your workplace or in your school or whatever, it's good to have diversity. Our country is kind of based on that. And unfortunately, the vestiges of slavery and, pre-civil rights are that we had this inequality. And how do we make it better? Now, I hear you. It's like, reparations argument and things like that. That's maybe a bridge too far for me personally to say, what are you going to do? Give a guy $1,000 and say, okay, everything's equal now. It's more like we just need fairness in society, and our workplaces and our schools should somewhat represent our society as a whole.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
I feel, I just feel like, this is something we are probably just never going to see eye to eye on. Sure. I just feel differently, because my argument to that is by doing that, by focusing on the end result and trying to make that equal, and not you're starting racist to me. Like your starting point is racist, and then you're gonna, in doing that, you're breeding more racism, because now you have all these white people that just feel totally fucked. They're just like, what the fuck? Like, I thought we're supposed to be equal here. Like, I thought this was an equal thing, and now you're saying it's not an equal thing. We need to get the end numbers up and jack them up. And I get trying to jack those number up, getting money into minority groups and getting them working and stuff like that in any situation. But to me, it just need like so I brought up last week in my company, I'll try to do this a real quick way, but like in civil work, it's lowest bid gets the job no matter what. It doesn't matter. Like when a government entity wants to build a bridge or something like that, the lowest bid gets it. Whoever bids the job the lowest, 100% of the time get it, except when minorities start getting involved. And it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing to where there's minority quotas that need to be met. So there's companies out there that bid jobs and they win the lowest bid, and they'll actually lose the job because they're minority numbers. And to me, it's like, I've talked personally with people that they're upset about it. Now they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I did all this work, built this company, I'm paying people in my office to figure out how we're going to do this for the cheapest amount of money, which is so good to me. That gets our government work done cheaper. You know what I mean? That we should all be on board with this. And now our tax money is being used to just boost the numbers of minorities. Now this guy is mad. You know what I mean? Now he's pissed. Now you're truly breeding racism. You know what I mean? Like that's not even anymore. It's not fair. Like you're giving.
No, I hear where you're coming from, and the thing I would say is that racism existed before that. Is what the reason why we kind of need to say, rather than looking at, hey, just lowest bid, can we help spread the money around a little bit? It's like, this is our government, our taxpayers' money, so we want to have some diversity. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. Whereas, that's not capitalism, though, because capitalism just says, lowest bid that's going to do the work right should get the job every time. And I get that. And certainly some people, suffer from that, quote unquote reverse racism, which I get that. That's, and that is a problem, and there should be enough opportunities out there for everybody. But, it's kind of like, well, racism existed way before there's this, quote unquote reverse racism where someone's getting a favor or getting a leg up based on their race, which you're right. It sounds like racism, but it's, you're saying it's racism against white people. And I get that. When you look at the overall picture, though, white people still have huge advantages over minorities in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we're just in a tough, it's a tough, you know, it's all a tough argument. It's an extremely tough argument.
And we can certainly agree to disagree, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's why,
you know, that's what I want to give you so much credit because, you know, last night I got in an extremely heated argument and it didn't, you know, it didn't like end well. And I will say, you know, it's nice. It's nice to have people, you know, I'll give you a lot of credit for that. We've gotten in very heated debate, not heated, but very, you know, emotional debates about stuff. And every time, you know, it ends really well. You know what I mean? There's no grudge ever held. Yeah. And I think, you know, first and foremost, before we tackle any issue, we need to get to everyone on that, at least that point, you know, to where we can have an open debate, you know, talk our viewpoints out and not hate each other for it. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
and
that's a beauty of America is like, you can believe whatever you want. You know what I mean? It's a free country. Like, and we should be able to argue. You should be able to have a Trump sticker on your car and not get your car destroyed for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we need to work on that. Love your fellow human being. You know, this is all a community. We're all in this community together. We're all in this world together. You know what I mean? We all need to get along. Like,
yeah, I agree with you 100%. And, you know, I have tons of friends on the left and the right where, you know, on their Facebook feed, it's like, oh, well, that guy's, you know, a right-wing, you know, Trump supporter. I'm going to unfriend him. It's like, well, that's not solving anything. Now we're just getting into our silos and getting into our, you know, our little small groups of people and, you know, agreeing with each other and thinking we're so, you know, superior and they're, you know, the, what's that called?
Virtue signaling
and all that to each other, you know, in our own group where we all sit there and agree together. It's like, you have to listen to the other side. Used to be that the news on TV, and this is one of the other problems, like you said, I know the media is something infuriates everybody, where it's like, you know, one side's saying this, and the other side's saying this. The news used to have both points of view. They'd have, okay, here's the subject, here's what happened. Let's have, you know, one point of view over here, left and right, however you want to look at it, Democrat, Republican. Let's have two different points of view, look at it and discuss it. And then, hey, everybody draw their own conclusion based on that, you know, and more information that you can do your own research on. And we've gotten away from that where news is now infotainment. It's, you know, okay, this is the news. This is what happened. You know, hopefully at least they're true with like, this is what happened. Here's a picture of it, or, you know, here's the stats. And you can look at different sources to make sure those stats are correct. And then they editorialize on it. They give their opinion on it. And this is why, and this is so terrible. This is so great. And this is what we should do from here, where that becomes just personal opinion and their own personal point of view rather than, hey, these are the facts. And then, hey, let's have a discussion on what we can do to make it better.
Yep.
You know, So, no, man, it's tough time out there for sure. And, you know, I appreciate people, you know, I want to have, you know, I'm not afraid to have an argument with people, but you got to avoid the ad hominem attacks where, oh, you believe this, that makes you a terrible person. Well, you know, as long as you don't believe that, hey, one race is superior than other, or men are superior to women and, you know, people should be enslaved or whatever. I mean, that's obviously morally defunct. Yeah. You know, as long as you don't believe that, hey, we can have a discussion about stuff and be civil and, and try and get this country to a better place.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, my bros.
Well, man. Great talk, man. I really appreciate having you on, man.
Hey, thanks a lot. And yeah, hope to do it again sometime and we'll see each other out and about, I'm sure. Rock and roll.
Do you want to plug anything, real estate stuff or anything like that?
Yeah. So, we did talk about I'm a real estate broker. You probably can't see this, but
a little fuzzy.
Yeah. So, hey, how about this?
Boom. There we go.
Nice.
So,
call number on the bottom of your screen.
Looking to buy or sell a property, I know me and Eric talked about he's looking into possibly buying something soon. So
you'll be the guy.
First-time buyers are one of my favorite niches. You know, I love investors and stuff as well, but it's really fun to have people get into where they can own their piece of the rock. You know, and I'd love to help you and anybody else out there that's interested. It is a solid market. I can talk about real quick. there's not a whole lot of inventory out there currently. And, you know, prices aren't coming down the way that a lot of people thought they might with the pandemic, because there's a lot of people out there still realize the value in real estate, and it's held solid. You know, we're not going to depreciate anytime soon. It doesn't look like, you know, nobody has a crystal ball. Of course, anything can happen, but it's a lot different than it was in 2007, 2008 in our, you know, in the Great Recession, when the banks basically just shut down lending to people because they screwed it up in the first place by giving too much money to people that weren't able to repay it. And they started defaulting. So, and the banks have kind of figured it out. Interest rates are still really low, though, so a great time to buy for buyers, in that you're not going to be paying a lot of interest on whatever you buy, and you're going to gain the appreciation in the long run. You know, it's definitely, if you have any money to invest, a home should be the first thing that you have. You know, you have to have a place to live anyways. You might as well have something that you can build equity in, and you know.
No, it's tried and true.
Yeah, and
real estate's tried and true.
It's not going anywhere. So, and it's really helped the economy, you know, chug along a little bit here, where we're not totally collapsing. You know, us real estate brokers are kind of essential workers in that we, you know, we're essential to keep the economy humming. You know, it's a lot of money involved. So when people buy and sell a house, there's a lot of money changing hands, and a lot of people are able to make a living off that and help their families, you know, and that keeps everybody surviving and paying their rent and paying their mortgages and, you know, and everything else. And then in construction and everything else, you know.
Yep.
So
keeps the ball rolling.
Yep. It's a small world for sure.
Well, rock and roll, buddy. It was great having you on. You were a great guest.
Hey, thanks so much. Great to see you guys, and you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Rock and roll.
Yeah,
see you later.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, and we're back. The Erick and Brad Show. That was Steve Axford. It was a very good guest. Yeah, can't really ask for someone better as far as, you know, keeping the ball rolling. Some of the guests, you know, don't have much to say, and he's a good talker.
He should start his own show.
He should. Needs a little work on his backdrop and camera a little bit, but, you know, get that worked out and we're good to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So here we are.
Informative.
Here we are. So I had kind of this thing. I was, you know, I've had an issue coming up with, it's funny, coming up with content every time. It's like we don't even need content. We just get it knocked out. You know what I mean? Hours knocked out and don't even, you know, I talked about Costco, the NFL, Dave Chappelle. That's all I've touched on. So I stumbled across something on the internet, and
oh yes,
you know, it was so weird to me. At first, I was like, this website is BS. Like, this is just it was CNN was the first one I came across, and I'm like, this isn't real. Like, this isn't a real thing. But then I went on another website, and it had the same thing. All the same stuff, and I'm like, is this real? Like, are kids actually doing this? So, what it is I had the idea of, like, I had a game idea to where, and I veered off. The original idea was I was gonna throw acronyms at you, acronyms for porn sites, and see if you can get all the acronyms right. You know, like, you know, easy one would be BDSM or POV, but it gets, you know, you could get harder with it. You could ask, like, what's
oh Jesus Christ.
Like, what's BBC, or what's, you know what BBC is?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. I did it, and part of that was like, maybe he would feel really uncomfortable playing that game. So, but when I was looking up acronyms, I came across secret texting codes your kids might be using. So acronyms, like new age acronyms. I don't know if these are real, but I will say I ran across two websites, you know, two different websites. Actually, three now. The one I have pulled up is by Vice. I was on CNN and a different website, and all these acronyms are almost exactly the same. I don't know any of these. Honestly, like, any of these I've never even heard of. And let's see if you can get any of these. The list I have in front of me is about 50 long. We won't go through all of them. I'll try to grab ones that I think are the easiest out of all of them.
Thank you.
Because you're honestly not going to get any of them. Like, I don't. Let's go POS.
Piece of shit.
No, that in our day and age, that's what that acronym meant. But this is think kids.
POS.
This is like supposedly today's 13-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids.
I fucking have no idea.
Okay, this one might get you in the mindset of where all these are going to kind of go. So that is parents over shoulder.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's good. I'm gonna use that. Okay.
P911.
Parents 911.
Yeah, parent emergency. I'm giving you easy ones. I'm getting you easy ones. So yeah, parent alert.
Okay.
You know, P911. That's what you'd send to your friend and be like, P911. You know, shit, mom's coming over or something like that. You know what I mean?
Shit.
They had the dumb one on here, 420. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, of course. Like people don't know what that is. I mean, maybe some older people out there don't know. So yeah, these websites are like informing parents of what the new acronyms
Boomers.
are. Yeah, boomers, what the new acronyms are.
Boomers, yeah.
You might get this one. LMIRL. LMIRL.
Okay, so it's like, do you LMIRL? Do you like me in real life?
But L. Starts with L, no D.
Yeah, like me in real life or love me in real life.
So close. Let's meet in real life.
Oh, let's meet in real life. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. CU46.
CU46. 46. CU46? I don't know.
CU46.
It's just CU46.
Yeah. Fucking, let's see, GNOC.
GNOC.
See, these are getting stupid hard and stupid random. I wonder if this is real. GNOC.
GN just makes me think good night.
Yeah, it's definitely not that.
Oh, what is it?
Get naked on camera.
Get naked on camera. Nobody uses that.
Yeah. Did I already do
Okay.
TDTM?
TDTM. TDTM. Jesus Christ. I have no
I know
idea.
these are crazy. I was going through these like, is this real? So TDTM, talk dirty to me.
Why would they say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't say that. I just say shit.
KPC.
KPC. K. I don't know.
Keep parents clueless.
Fuck. I was thinking keep parents close, but that didn't make any sense. Keep parents clueless. Nobody says that. They don't say that.
PIR.
PIR. PIR. Parents.
Oh, you're getting it.
Parents in. Parents in R. Parents in room.
Yep, parents in room.
Boom.
Boom.
Fuck yeah.
That one.
Nobody says that.
Let's see. WYCM.
WYCM. Will you call me?
Yep. WCM.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
QTC. I hope this one's real. QTC.
QTC.
Or no. Sorry. Q2C. I don't know why I said T.
Q2C. Q.
This one's
Q2C.
This one's bananas.
2C, 2cam, 2come. What is Q though? I don't know what Q would be.
Quick to come.
Quick to come. Yeah. Nobody says that.
MOOS.
MOOS. More. Many.
And then this is alongside MOSS. They're very similar. MOOS and MOSS.
My.
Nope.
MILF?
No. MOOS, MOSS. Member of the opposite sex or member of the same sex. Here's an easy one.
Maybe that's like
M or F.
M or F. Nobody says that. That's from chat rooms from 2004.
I know.
When
Some of
say
these
age, sex, location. Now they're like member of same sex.
459
459
or 143. They're the same thing.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. 182.
182. I don't know what that is.
I hate you.
182.
Yeah.
That's not real.
KMS.
People don't say that. KMS. What's the K? K.
Man, as a suicide guidance counselor, you're not doing so good. Okay, you're not up to.
Former. I don't know what that is.
Kill myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, is it? I don't know. I went through this list, so we'll stop there. There's like 50 of them on here. And I'm like, when I started getting into this, I'm like, this isn't real. But then the weird thing is like, so did someone like hand this, like some kid just like laughingly write all this out like as a joke and then handed it to some CNN reporter, and then all these other sites are like, oh, this is what these kids are up to these days. Like, yeah, I've never seen any of those used. Like,
no, they're not used.
they have AF. They have AF on here, so that's that's legit. And WTF, as fuck or what the fuck. Yeah,
No, they just send a Snapchat of a blank screen, and it just says of a black screen, and it just says send nudes.
Yeah.
You just send that. You're not gonna send MOSS PIR, come quick, or whatever the fuck it was.
Boom. I thought that. I don't know. Isn't that weird? I just thought that would be a funny thing to bring up.
It was better back in the day. Just like everything.
So, I'll throw in my story real quick. Secret story time. This one is it really had nothing to.
Is this the last thing?
Well, I have the trivia game. I didn't know if we wanted to kind of separate the trivia game for what we just did, because this was kind of like a trivia.
Oh, history trivia?
Yeah, history trivia. We don't have to do it. I mean, whatever you want to do. I figured kind of get back to conversation for a little bit and then come back to trivia, so it's not just this long trivia thing.
But wait, first off, did you watch Parasite?
No, I forgot all about that.
Oh my God.
How was it?
Jesus. It's the greatest foreign film of all time. It is 10 out of 10. Incredible. It blew me away.
Okay, so
it was
we talked about
amazing.
this last week. You downloaded it, right? This isn't on a streaming service.
It's on Hulu, from what I'm told.
Okay, that's right. This is the Hulu one. I'll watch it.
So good. So fucking... And it's one of those movies where you know it's good while you're watching it, which, like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, even a few days afterwards, I was like, I need to watch it again because I just can't figure it out, kind of. But it's like, while you're watching Parasite, you're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was good. Even with the subtitles and stuff, I'm like, this is the greatest foreign film of all time. Granted, I'm not like a foreign film buff, but I'm like, this is incredible. It was great.
Huh. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. You know what I did watch this week, though? That my first time watching it? And it was funny because my girlfriend had, like, when I was editing the film or re-listening to it, I was listening to it on the speakers, and she heard the whole rant I had about her watching horrible shows. You know what I mean? She's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like that type of thing. But Then we go into bed the other night, and I put on Orgasmo. Have you ever seen that movie?
Oh,
It's
no.
you know what it is? It's Matt Stone and Trey Parker's like one of their first movies.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "What the fuck are you watching right now? It is ridiculous." Ron Jeremy's in it. It's just, it is the stupidest movie of all time. I don't know. It's almost worth it to watch.
Yeah.
Just, it's kind of more just like weird watching Matt Stone and Trey Parker at such a young age.
Right.
But I will
I've
watch
heard of it.
Parasite. I'll do it. I'm writing it down.
Oh my god. It's so fucking good. And it's like, oh my god, it's so and it's like after watching it, even right when it finished, I'm like, this is a movie I'm gonna be revisiting. This is not just something I'm gonna watch once. I'm gonna watch it again. It's just so crazy.
Huh, you got me excited,
So
man.
good.
I love getting into a fucking good movie.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, I don't know. It's weird. I'm gonna have to watch it again at some point because it's just so fucking weird. I don't know. It's one of those movies. It is good. And for a foreign film, the whole thing's subtitled, but you're like, it doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't fucking matter. If it wouldn't have been, it would almost would have made it worse just because of how authentic it made it. And it didn't make me want to move to Korea. Like most movies, I watch a movie and I'm like, fuck, I should have been a lawyer. Or I should have been a doctor. I should have been in the military. I should have been. It's like, god damn it. I should have fucking moved to, whatever. I should have been an athlete. But it didn't make me really want to move to Korea, but part of it kind of did. I don't know. It was good.
Huh. Heck yeah. Yeah, I'll watch it,
Yeah.
man.
All right, cool.
Okay, secret
Story time.
story time. So,
Okay.
when I had first started working for the company I worked for, I worked at a really big job site. Biggest job site I've ever been on. There was like there was a lot of subs on the job, but there was at least 15 or 20 of us on our crew. So I guess not the biggest crew I've ever been on, but the biggest job site I've ever been on. It was huge. But we had this we had, a bunch of laborers, and I was a laborer at this time. I just started working for this company, and so just a bunch of kids, essentially. Like not a lot of carpenters, but a lot of kids. They had just a lot of bullshit work that needed to be done. So they hired a lot of young guys, like, 18, 19, 20-year-old guys. Yeah, so there was this kid, I'll say his name because he loved that he did this, and he would love getting credit for it. But so this kid Tyson,
Okay.
I work with, or did work with, he's in the union now. But a really hard worker. He actually worked in the oil fields before he started our company. He had just came from North Dakota when he started. Me and him were pretty good friends. I haven't seen him in a while, but we're good friends. But there was also this other kid who I won't say his name, but this other kid worked at the company, or just started. We had been there for like 6 months or 3 months or something like that. And then this other kid starts, and he's fresh out of high school. He shoots super short. No, not a lot of people on the crew just didn't like him because he was extremely cocky. And it was like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Why are you so cocky? You know what I mean? Like, you just
my
started
God.
doing this. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand any construction. Why are you being cocky? And then it's even more ridiculous that you're 5 foot tall and 110 pounds. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, and so Tyson especially hated this kid. Like, despised him. Just like, fuck that kid. So whatever. There's this other dude that worked there named Mouth, who me and him are really good friends. He's super into football, really into football, and he was trying to get everyone into a fantasy league, doing a fantasy league, and he wanted to do it on the job site. So he talked all these guys in, I participated, and we all downloaded
Nice.
DraftKings, or I don't even remember what website we used, but we used one of them, and we all go on, and I actually got really into it. Like the first, I watched a bunch of podcasts on it, and read a bunch of things about who's going to be, who you should pick, how you should pick. I got really, I don't like losing. So I got real into it.
Yeah.
And, so the way we set it up is while he's trying to explain how to get everyone on the website and fill all your stuff out, he took everyone's number and made a group message. You know what I mean? So now we're all on this group message board. And, I think there was 10 of us. Yeah. And so Tyson's in it, and then this cocky kid's also in it, and then a bunch of other people. And so The next day at work, right after this all starts, this kid, and this kid's been here like a week or something like that, and he is always in like a good mood and always like talking shit and like trying to, conversate with everybody. Well, on this day, he is not. And he is very upset over something. And he's being very weird and like mean mugging everybody and like, well, like me and Tyson go to lunch and he's like, dude, you're not going to believe what I did. And just like, so Tyson gets this kid's number off of, the message board. He figures out who this kid is and who his number is.
Yeah.
That night, he gets on Craigslist and fucking
Oh my god.
finds a picture of some super hot girl and then posts the picture of this really hot girl or like a decent looking girl and then writes this whole thing out about how I just, acting as if it's her and is just like, hey, I just got out of this relationship with this guy and, I'm so fed up with, all his bullshit. And, he was just this jealous guy and fucking, he wrote out this whole thing. And it's just like fucking, he had a small dick and I'm just sick of it. And I just want to get out and fucking, I want to get fucked. You know what I mean? Or something to that effect. And he's just like, and he's like, so I only want dudes with big dicks. And I won't message you back unless you show me a picture of your dick. And then posted it up on on Craigslist. So this kid all day was just getting bombarded with dick pics.
Oh my god.
Is that not the best fucking prank? Dude, I was like, hats off to you. I would have never have thought about that. Is that not the funniest shit ever?
That's craziness.
Can you imagine just dick pic after dick pic coming in? Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
That would suck.
So if you want to get at someone, there's a good fucking trick right there.
Oh, I'm sure it's been done.
Yeah.
A lot. That's fucked. You're like, why are you sending me this? Like, I thought you wanted it. Like, no, I don't want it. Fuck.
Boom.
Oh
That's
my
that
God.
story. I thought that was a good story. I was so happy when that happened. I thought that was funnier than shit.
Cyberbullying.
Well, you got anything to add? You want to go to this trivia game? History trivia?
Yeah. Is this going to require me answering history questions?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Are you not good at
Okay.
history?
I used to be good at history 10 years ago.
We'll go through.
This is just make Brad look like an idiot.
Yes,
this time.
exactly.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Okay, I'll try to give you easy ones. Okay, this is history trivia with the Eric and Brad Show.
Woo.
In which year
Fuck.
did Hitler?
Is this American history?
World history.
Oh, world. Jesus. Okay.
But I'll give you easy ones here. In which year
Okay.
did Hitler commit suicide?
1946.
Ooh, close. 45.
1945. Fuck. Okay.
Greenland was a colony of which country until 1981?
Oh my god, dude. Norway.
Close. Denmark.
God damn it.
Maybe some of these are hard.
That Hitler one was easy.
Yeah, that Hitler one was easy. How many days in a week were in an ancient Roman times? Was there in ancient Roman times?
7.
8. I didn't know that. I'd never heard that.
Oh.
Which bridge was the first to be built across the River Thames in London?
The London Bridge?
Boom! Ding, 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 ding. Got it.
Oh, God. Fuck.
Yeah, some of these are hard.
Okay.
How many U.S. presidents have been assassinated?
Um, 4.
Nice. Good job.
Is that
Yep.
right? Fuck
Abraham
yeah.
Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which king of England was executed in 1649 during the English Civil War? That one's pretty hard.
Um, is there a number at the end of his name?
Yes.
King George something?
Charles the First.
Fuck, that's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In which
I got 2.
in which country did
One.
the Easter Rising take place in 1916?
France.
Ireland.
Fuck.
Which 7 U.S. states succeeded and formed the original Confederacy during the U.S. Civil War?
Oh, you have to name the states?
Let's see if you can get close. There's 7 of them.
Virginia?
Nope.
What? Oh. Louisiana?
Boom.
Mississippi?
Boom.
I guess Georgia?
Boom. Got 3.
Is a Carolina in there?
Yep.
South?
Yep. Boom.
How many do I have?
You have 4.
I need a map.
I'm feeling like you're missing a real
Um,
easy one down south. You know, you listed Georgia, Louisiana.
Florida?
Well, Florida is one. There's a one that I think is like the easiest one.
Arkansas?
No, they have a extremely famous college football team. Probably the best, arguably.
Alabama?
Yep. Bam. 6.
There's one
This
more?
last one, I honestly kind of feel like an idiot that I didn't know this one.
Well, it's not Texas.
It's fucking Texas.
It is Texas? Oh, fuck.
I didn't
okay.
think Texas. I didn't think they were part of that, but I guess
For some reason, I thought they were part of, like, the North, I guess, or the
yeah,
Union.
it's weird. Like, yeah, I thought too.
Damn.
What was the name of the first space shuttle to go into space?
Apollo?
Columbia.
What the fuck?
When did the first space
Oh,
shuttle go into space? What year?
Oh, my God. Wait, American?
When did the first space shuttle go into space? I would totally have gotten this
Okay,
wrong.
that's a tricky one, because I'm wondering if there were people on it. Wasn't there when they're unmanned? Okay, wait, never mind. 1960.
Dude, this must be like a trick question. But there must be, because this is this is when did the first space shuttle go into space? April 12th, 1981.
Okay, that's a trick question.
It has to
That
be
does
some
make
kind of trick
sense.
question there. I had to reread that like 4 times. Like, what?
That's inaccurate.
There must be something like the way they're wording that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that would be incredibly hard. How did Alexander the Great solve the puzzle of the Gordian knot? How did Alexander the Great solve the puzzle of the Gordian knot? Never fucking heard of that.
I don't
He
know.
cut it with his sword. Sorry, I was just trying to look for an easy one and had to say something
What
so
the
we weren't
fuck?
just sitting here blankly. Who was the first man to walk on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
Boom. That would probably be hard. I don't think you would get this. Which Greek historian is known as the father of history?
Does it start with an A?
No, this is incredible. There's no way you're gonna get that right. I would never get that right.
What is it?
Herodias.
God damn
Sorry,
it.
sorry.
Should have done American history.
In which Libyan city was the American diplomat compound attacked in September 2012? In which
2012.
in which Libyan city was an American diplomat compound attacked in September 2012?
Oh,
Yep,
Benghazi.
good job. Nice.
Boom. Whew.
Yeah, where did this thing? Oh, okay, here's a good one. In 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant, effectively ending the American Civil War. Where did this take place?
What state or city?
City. Or I'm kind of an idiot. I don't know if this is like a capital or what. I know this is definitely something you did in history class. Like you know the name of this. I think it's a city. But it might be like
I don't know what it is.
town hall type thing. Appomattox.
Oh God. Fucking nuts. Okay.
Where was the first modern Olympics held?
The first modern Olympics?
Yeah.
I don't know. Athens?
Yep. Good job. Nice.
Jesus. God. Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
What year did the War of 1812 end?
1813.
1815.
Ah, fuck.
Who became president of the United States after John F. Kennedy was assassinated?
Oh, fuck. Oh, after JFK. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Hoover?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Damn it. I knew that. Fuck.
Who built the first car in America?
Henry Ford.
Boom.
Oh, my God.
What was the name of the first car ever made?
The Model T?
The motor wagon.
That's ridiculous. Fuck.
Which war took place between 1950 and 1953?
Korea.
The Korean War. Good job. What is the name of the first human civilization?
What?
What is the name of the
What kind of
first
question
human
is that?
civilization?
Does it start with a P?
Starts with an M.
Montezuma.
Mesopotamia.
Ah, fuck.
In which
I knew that.
which year was the first Super Bowl played?
Oh my God. Is it the 60s?
It's in the 60s.
60. I mean 63.
67.
God damn it.
Which team won the first Super Bowl?
Packers.
Good job.
Boom. Whew. Sports is good.
How did Joan of Arc die?
Fall off a horse.
No, she's burned at the stake.
Oh, fuck.
How many times has the Mona
Jesus.
Lisa been stolen?
3.
One time. What is
One time.
Here's a random one. What is the breed of Snoopy in the highly successful comic strip? What breed of
Oh my
dog?
God. I don't know.
A beagle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's one. I think this might have just stick out to me. But in which year was the Berlin Wall torn down?
1990. 2.
No, close. 89.
80. Ah, fuck, 89.
Who led the
Okay.
USSR from 1917 to 1922?
Who led it?
Who led the USSR from
Wait.
1917 to 1922?
Not Stalin.
No, because Stalin reigned for a long time.
After that, I think. I don't know.
Vladimir Lenin.
Oh, Lenin. Cocksuck.
The Whitechapel Murderer is the nickname given to which serial killer?
I have no idea.
Who's the most famous serial killer of all time?
I don't know.
Jack the Ripper.
Oh, what? Whitechapel?
Yeah, I'd never heard that.
No.
The Incan Empire
Doesn't make
is
sense.
located in which modern-day country?
Brazil.
Peru.
Peru, fuck.
Who invented the telephone?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Nice! Good job! I wouldn't have got that.
That's easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
In which war did the Battle of the Bulge take place?
The Civil War?
No, the
Revolutionary?
Second World War.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who painted the mural of the Last Supper?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. Everyone knows him.
What?
Who's the most famous painter of all time? Almost. Old school painter.
Da Vinci?
Yep. Leonardo da Vinci.
What?
Yeah, he painted the Last
Oh,
Supper.
Okay. I was thinking that someone was there
Ooh.
and just painting it while it was happening.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Whose assassination resulted in the Lorraine Motel becoming a national civil rights monument?
Martin Luther King.
Boom. Good job. Whoa. What? Which U.S. president, I guess I did know this, which U.S. president was inducted in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in 1922?
Donald Trump.
Or 1992?
Donald Trump.
Come on.
Donald Trump.
Which U.S. president was
What?
inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in 1992?
You're saying it's not Donald Trump?
In 1992.
There's another president in there?
He's actually, it's like a little known fact, but he was a wrestler. It was like one of his things. It's an old school president. You've had to have heard it at some time. I know I've heard it multiple times in my life.
Reagan?
No, Abraham Lincoln. He was a wrestler.
Oh.
You
That's fucking
never heard
stupid.
that?
No, I heard that he was a wrestler. I don't know why they would induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, I didn't know this one.
Oh.
In which country was the largest known T-Rex skeleton found?
United States?
Canada. I think that's fucking
Oh,
cool.
Jesus.
That's super cool.
That is cool.
What is the first toy to be advertised on television?
Wooden trains?
No, Mr. Potato Head.
Oh my god, what?
In which year did World War I begin?
Jesus. 30...
World War I. World War I.
Yeah, 1930...
World War I.
Okay, 1926?
1914. They were using fucking muskets and shit,
What?
bud. Or like, yeah, or not muskets, but like shitty ass guns. I mean, and then World War II was in the early,
Jesus.
late 30s to through the 40s.
Yeah, I know.
There was definitely a time, they didn't just go I mean, it did go war, but there was a little bit of a break there.
Okay, I thought it wasn't as much of a break. Fucking people.
What country was Adolf Hitler born?
Austria.
Yep, good job.
Boom.
What date was Pearl Harbor bombed?
1941, December 12th, 10th?
Fucking close. I always forget this every year, but it's
7th.
nice. Good job. Good job.
Whew. I need 3 chances.
In what city and state was John F. Kennedy assassinated?
Oh, fucking Dallas, Texas,
job.
motherfuckers. You got to keep your head on a swivel in Dallas, even to this day. Swivel.
What's the longest war in U.S. history?
The Iraq conflict.
The Afghan War.
Oh, come on, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it all kind of the same fucking thing?
Yeah, but they say conflict, not war.
This
Boom.
one you'll never
That's
get because
good.
it's ridiculous, but that's crazy. The Aztec people
What is it?
sacrificed about how many people per year?
600.
250,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
I thought
crazy.
600 was a lot.
Dude,
That doesn't even count
that's
as
killing like
sacrifices.
1,000, almost 1,000 people a day. Just
Yeah,
under,
that's not sacrificing.
huh?
You're just slaughtering.
You'd literally be there all
You
day
just-
tossing people off the fucking roof. You'd have, you could have a company back then, full time, just taking dead bodies out of the city.
Oh, yeah.
Who painted the Sistine Chapel?
Michelangelo.
Nice, good job.
Yeah.
The ancient Mayan civilization existed in which modern day country?
I don't know.
Guatemala. Oh, here's a good one. I like this one. In 1594, William Shakespeare joined the company of which London theater? Come on, this is a good one. I don't know if I'd get it, but I mean,
which?
I guess I've always really liked
I don't
his
know.
whole story. The Globe. You ever heard that?
Oh, God. No, I haven't.
What was the name of the first successful colony in Virginia?
I don't know.
Jamestown.
Ah, fuck. That's what I was trying to think of. Fucking history doesn't even sound
In
real.
what year did humans put the first satellite into orbit?
1962.
1957. Very close.
Fuck. 57. Wow.
This is weird. Who orchestrated a terrorist attack against the United States on September 11th? Not the person, but the group.
Al-Qaeda.
Yep.
That's easy.
Who was the first Western explorer to reach China?
Wait, hang on. Fuck. I don't know. Marco Polo?
There we go. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, let's wrap this up on this one. This is an easy one. You got this. This is almost too easy.
Oh, God.
This is too easy. What scandal forced U.S. President Richard Nixon to resign in 1974?
Watergate.
Boom! You did really well. I think
Deflategate.
you did great.
Oof, I don't know. I think I did average.
I think you got a lot on there that I was surprised you got. Boom.
They said before Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone that nobody said the word hello. It was invented with the telephone. Nobody said hello before the telephone. And then once there was a telephone, people are like, we need something to say. And they're like, hello. And it was the first time it was said.
Really?
but I don't know if that's true.
Huh.
I don't know if that's true.
We'll have to do some digging, see if that's true.
Yeah, we will.
Boom.
Episode 11, the Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com, Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com. New Carl Firestone album out. There's been no progress made on any kind of cam girl as a guest.
Yeah, Brad doesn't do so good with getting guests on, but we're working on that.
I just panic.
He panics.
I don't know.
He panics. He's a social,
I panic.
He's a social, I don't know what the word I'm looking at. Hermit? Something like that.
I'm like, what would be easier than getting this guest on? Not getting them on.
Yeah.
It'd be so much easier.
Okay, guys. Well, this was a good episode. I think this one lasted a while.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, but it was fun. And we love y'all. So, bye.
It all went away. Wednesday and time.